Good evening. No, I've already started badly by picking the wrong scene. Let's try that again.
I'm European
Good evening.
champion, so I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
He thinks he's a special one. Do I think I'm a special one? Not really. Good evening. How is everyone doing this wonderful, wonderful Thursday evening? Do you know what's about to happen tonight? Tonight, we are going to win the fucking league. We enter the final 6 games of the season. We are 2 points behind Inter Milan with 1 game in hand. We potentially are on course for a treble. We have won the Italian Supercoppa. We are still in the Coppa Italia. We have the second leg of the semi-final coming up, and we are within striking distance of the league. It could all be absolutely sensational tonight. Or, like how we ended last season, it could just be disappointment upon disappointment as we fall just short. Should be in for a cracker. Now, how is everyone doing this wonderful, wonderful evening? We have some incredible people in already. I see Busy Baron is in. Welcome in, my dude. Lovely to see you. How are you doing? We have the glorious, the wonderful Blue Lions in, as evidenced by saying he thinks he was the special one. Data is here. RJ is here. Johnson is in. Quadmo is here. FMGNG. RJ, it is lovely, lovely to see you all. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you've had a fabulous week. I hope you've got lots of exciting things planned for the weekends. We're going to head on into the game. We'll kind of catch up exactly where we are. And yeah, let's see how we get on. Did anyone watch the Club World Cup last night as well? We have now got our finalists for Sunday. It is going to be Chelsea versus Paris Saint-Germain. Who are people backing? Are they feeling like the champions of Europe, PSG, with their irrepressible 4-0 win over Real Madrid, are going to be too powerful to stop Chelsea? Or are people hedging their bets on Nicholas Jackson finally working out how to play football just in time for Sunday? It's possible. You never know. This is where we left off. As we can see, right off the top, we are 2 points shy of Inter Milan. We beat them 3-2 last time out. It was a very, very crazy game. There were moments where it looked like we had thrown it all away. We took the lead. Inter Milan came back, went 2-1 up, and then 2 goals in 12 minutes from Paolo Benato and Alexander Isak gave us a very much deserved win. And that has closed the gap. That has now put us in position to potentially win. But every time we have got ourselves within touching distance of the top spot, we have thrown it away. And our next game in the league is away against Juventus. It's sitting in 4th currently. It's probably going to be a pretty tricky tie. We do have Fiorentina before that, though. So, Johnson, you're going to try to staff a bit more realistically in this save, rather than just fill out your whole coaching team for the sake of it. Fabulous. What kind of approach are you going for? RJ, there was a very good chance you will fall asleep before then. It is perfectly fine. Maybe we'll do a short one, and we'll pick it up on another day perfectly. Moen is in. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Moen. How are you doing? It's a rather good day. Have you done anything exciting to celebrate? Yeah, what have you been up to? RJ for the weekend doesn't know. Tomorrow is gardening. For the rest, we'll see. Blue Lions is backing Chelsea. No surprise there with the name Blue Lions. A Busy Baron, as a Chelsea fan, you're just hoping that you don't lose by a double-digit scoreline. The duality of Chelsea fans exposed in those 2 comments there. G&G watched Shelbourne Linfield in the Champions League last night instead of the Club World Cup. 1-0 win for the Dublin side. Marvellous. Blue Lions is feeling bullish. We always win the tournaments where we are the underdogs. Are you trying to suggest that you were the underdogs? It's not the Europa League, in the Conference League, because I think that's a stretch. That is definitely a stretch. So RJ, by the look of me yawning, it's a high probability indeed. I don't blame you. It's the last couple of evenings, streaming the league yesterday mid-afternoon and this evening today. I do feel like I probably should have had a nap beforehand, but we'll see. With the heat, I might well be joining you falling asleep halfway through. Not because it's going to be boring. Well, I mean, I'm not the most exciting human in the world, let's be fair. But it is very, very warm, and the warmth does make me want to have a little bit of a nap. Samoan, you've had a family dinner, which was lovely, fabulous. That sounds very, very nice. Right, we're going to head straight into this second leg against Fiorentina. We hold a 1-0 lead after the first leg. We are going to make some changes here. We are going to bring in Doner Kebab and give Bjorn Rod a rest. We know that he can't play multiple games a week. We're going to bring Navarro in. We'll bring Reinders. We'll go Mosconi, Kerim, and Ardagula. I think Izuk's going to start our next league game after scoring the winner, so we won't start him here. I think we run with that and see how we get on. Doner Kebab can't play at right back, but I think he is meant to be reasonably okay at passing.
So I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
We are like Jose. We are going to be specialists in winning tonight. Absolutely, I hope. Maybe. RJ's going to wait for me to fall asleep first. Exactly the approach, the right approach to take. So Blue Lions, both of your Champions Leagues came in seasons where we were 6th and 4th in the Premier League. That's fair. That is fair indeed. So Jonsa, for now you've made TPS icon Kasper Halmalainen your assistant. He's a former Finland international, your coach, and put out adverts for goalkeeper and fitness coach. I do like that approach. Now, is Molinari about to get an equaliser? It's a great save from Atabolo, sprawling across to the right, just reaching it with his fingertips. Fiorentina starting with intent. Hugo Guillamon sent it in, and there we go. Gets it away. They've had a few chances already. We're only 10 minutes in. They've had 4 shots. So make that about 5 shots. No, Beltran can't get to the end of it. Doner Kebab sweeps up nicely. The ball is a heavy laden black, so we might need to restart the game because it looks like it hasn't loaded the ball texture at some point. We'll do that after the game, or probably when there's going to be another when there's a break at some point. We might have to close down the game and start again. Oh no! If we're losing, we might have to close down and not start again, but save the game and pick it up from there. Skamaka stings the fingertips of Masucci there. Yeah, I love that approach, Johnson. I absolutely love it. So former Finland international as well, Janis Saksela. Yeah, fill it up with all the former players. Amazing. So you said 11 tons of concrete. It's 11 meters cubed, slightly more. It sounds less, but it's more. There we go. I must admit, tons does sound like a lot more. Nickname 123321's in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you doing? How are you this fine Thursday evening? Okay, Fiorentina coming towards us again here with Andrea Carboni down the left. Carboni trying to find the time, finds Volps inside. Volps creates a shooting opportunity. It takes a wicked deflection off Lucas Beltran. He looked onside to me. I don't think there's any doubts there. The players are complaining. Arms out. They are not happy. But the celebrations are there. It is 1-0 Fiorentina. Sorry, we won the first leg 2-1. So it is now 2-2 on aggregate. Google the weight of concrete. I don't doubt you at all. I don't doubt you at all. From Quadmo's response, I'm guessing that that is bad. Right, let's fire these guys up. See if we can like a goal now, and that will certainly give us a nice little get us back in front with Mosconi. Perhaps can he create shooting opportunity? He can indeed, but blazes it over from 8 yards out. That's a little bit better. It has been all Fiorentina though. Let's hope we can get in at half time and maybe reassess. So looks like we're finally turning the screw. So this will be where we go 2-0 down. Parisi into Brian. Brian back. Parisi has space. It's Volps again. Volps from a similar angle. This time there was no deflection on this shot and it goes wide. Beltran, you need to get in the way. You need to deflect all those shots in. It's not a good start for us at all. We seem to be holding a lot of the ball in deep positions, not really advancing with it much. And yeah, we are fortunate really to be only 1-0 down. We simply have to be better. Have to be better. Doner Kebab's already picked himself up a yellow card, so we are going to ask him to ease off tackles in the second half. We are going to increase the tempo. We've had a reasonably fair share of the game, so we'll go down to positive, but increase the tempo there. Maybe take play out of defence off. We should still be rolling it out there, so we should still start in deep areas, but maybe try and stop ourselves from holding on to it too much in those deep areas. Get the ball forwards, create some chances, and see how we do, hopefully. So RJ, a cubic meter of standard concrete typically weighs between 2,300 kilograms and 2,400, or 2.3, 2.4 tons. That is quite a lot. That is quite a lot indeed. Okay, so we've had a couple of shots early in the second half, and here comes a highlight. 60 minutes played. Monterisi now inside to Reinders. Reinders passes loose though, and now they come away. Fiorentina with Molinari down the right. Molinari's, can he get the cross in at the far post? Colombo is there, onto the roof of the net. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Come on, guys. Let's get our fingers out of our asses, shall we? Or not. Here comes Belfiore with the throw-in. Belfiore feeds Colombo. Colombo loses out to Reinders. Scamacca now. Plays it to Kari. Look at Albert Navarro breaking forwards. Play it forwards. There we go. Arda Güler from the angle. Arda Güler. That's what we wanted.
Milan have scored again. Yes, Milan. The score night and day. You can get away.
Boom. That gives us some breathing room. Thank you. Thank you, Arda. That is his 9th goal contribution since arriving in January. I think he's got 4 goals and 4 assists. Got Fiorentina now with another throw-in. Feeds it to Cipriani. Cipriani finds Molinari. It bounces around. Kari gets it clear. Scamacca can't make it stick. Belfiore, let's make some changes. Scamacca has done absolutely F all in this game. So on comes Isaac. We're going to bring on Cajuste for Kari as well. And Mosconi is going to make way for Carl Palmer. I think those are the changes we're going to run with. Navarro is looking tired. We'll probably bring him off in a moment as well. Let's just run with those three. It's Belfiore. Beats his man. Belfiore from the angle. Oh, absolutely awful finish. Closer to the corner flag than it was to the goal itself. Here's Colombo. Feeds it in. Monterisi reads it well. And then Güler gets stuck on the ball. Can Doner Kebab get back? He can't. Colombo flashes it wide once again. We need to demand more. This is very, very poor stuff. Güler with the free kick, and we get a chance. It's a bit of a rubbish highlight, to be honest. We have been thoroughly outplayed. Let's make those changes. We're going to bring on Theo. We're going to drop down to bounce. Let's see if we can get a little bit more control there. And other players that might come off. We're actually going to bring off both our defenders. They're both looking very, very tired. They're playing well, but Theo can play at centre-back. Some fresh legs, maybe to keep up with them running. That's the hope. So Blue Lions, you learn something new every day. Unfortunately, do not have the retention to remember these concrete facts. You never know when it's going to be useful. You never know.
Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when the score goes. Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when the score goes. Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when the score goes.
Okay, we have absolutely robbed them blind. That's a 4-2 win. We are in the Coppa Italia final. We did deserve it in the first leg. Very much didn't in the second leg. We are through. Fabulous stuff. So nickname's great. You're currently eating some chicken wings while enjoying the stream. Chicken wings are a fine choice. But I say they're a fine choice. I like chicken. I must confess, I'm not that big on meat on the bone. It's just too finicky. You know, you look like you get quite a lot of meat, but there's bones in the way. It feels like false advertising to me. I like the taste of it though. Boneless wings are definitely my preferred, or chicken breast. I do prefer the white meat to the dark meat. So Aaron, welcome in. When do I plan on releasing this skin? I don't, I'm afraid. Now, it is available to Patreons. It does only work in very specific circumstances. It's optimized for 1920 by 1080, not not at lower resolutions. Well, 1600 by 1080, but nobody plays that with that resolution other than me on stream. Yeah, so it's not going to be publicly released, I'm afraid, and it comes as it is. It's not a skin that then receives support. What I say, as with everything, the Patreon, it is an additive bonus. It is not meant to be that you sign up to the Patreon to get access to skins. It's like the whole offering, your director's cut videos and things like that accordingly. It's meant to be a whole package, which I think is really, really worth it. But yeah, for just one thing, I wouldn't recommend signing up. So we did put a bid in for Abdul Ghani Ahanach, the Moroccan Spanish winger who's come through in Mexico. He is a player. It's not a league that we've got loaded, so the stats aren't that useful to us. But he's a 19-year-old. He was very, very, very highly rated in the next gen. He's got pace, he's got agility, he's got flair. He's reasonably competent all across the board. He's not injury prone. An 11 million euro release clause. And he's going to be arriving. We've also agreed a deal for Ramon Ars. Ramon Ars is going to be arriving as well. He's coming for 6 million euros. He is an Argentine defensive midfielder. Again, already looks to be a pretty well-rounded player, 18 years old. He can do defensive stuff. He's got great vision, great decision-making, great technique. We can definitely develop him into a regular starter, I think, within a couple of years, which will be really, really nice. And we've got one deal in the works for an Italian-Latvian striker. There's that Raivo Rafalskis. He is indeed Latvian. I do remember that correctly. So, okay, so he's not got Italian second nationality, but he is homegrown in Italy. So that will help us a little bit with our future. He's an advanced forward, but I think we might change to play behind the strikers potentially. So that's quite useful there. So Cromwell doesn't like meat on the bone either. We agree on something on food. Fabulous. As neither does RJ. Beautiful. MTG fans, just a no to meat altogether. That's fair. That is fair as well. So John, first game and first win in the gentleman. Fabulous. Been a while since you've managed at semi-pro level. It's crazy, isn't it? Arse is going to be the butt of some jokes, isn't he? Oh, of course. Beautiful, sir. FM Console wants us to rename Ramon Arse to Bernie Arse. Burn Arse indeed. Where is he there? Let's do that. Let's do the honours. We will miss that nickname. Bernie. Wait a second. He doesn't have the accents on the arse part, so we can just go with that way. I don't need to add that in. Bernie Arse he is. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Cool. Who would joke about that? Well, obviously not us. Welcome in, Space Puffin. Welcome in, it's Adam as well. How are you both doing? How are your weeks so far? Now, guys, if you're not following It's Adam, formerly known as Traction FM or Foot Like a Traction Engine, you most definitely should be checking that. An absolute gentleman. Oh no, there is a lovely, despite saying oh no, there was a lovely little thing appearing in the top right of your screens over on Twitch right now to give him a follow. Go do that. Also in homage to Bernie Haas. I like it. Okay, I thought it was just like a burnt arse thing, burnt something along those lines. Not specifically something I got particularly. Bjorn Rod is going to be out. That's a little bit of a bugger. We are a little bit light in our defensive areas right now. We are very light in our defensive areas. So it's going to be Donna Kebab, Emiro Hisuki, Monterisi. We have Navarro and Bockers on the bench, 2 left backs, but Bjorn Rod is out. Matches Zanotti is out. Anita Hammer is still a week and a half or so away from being back, which is not ideal as we head into some important games. Let's get our starting lineup sorted. Izuk in there, Paolo Bonato. Gula keeps his starting spot, I think. No, Palmer comes in. Palmer deserves to hold his spot there, and we should be good to go, I think. So Crodmo, we used to do the big question, which we haven't done for a while. So here's Crodmo's question of the day. CQTD. Oh, okay. When is there going to be any news on FM26? Or is there going to be any news on FM26? RJ reckons no. RJ, or neither in FM27 either. So it's Adam, appreciate the shout out as always. Just had another short stay in hospital. I did see. Glad to see that you're back out though. So you may have to pack in the FM streams and just do in real life hospital streams instead. We would definitely, we come for you rather than the FM. So absolutely, got to do that. Make the best out of the situation as much as you possibly can. So G&G, sometime in August, November, G reckons that it's just going to be on kind of like a regular release schedule. That seems fair. Blue Lions, you would have to guess it's going to get announced, then delayed, then postponed. We're not feeling positive at all at the moment. That's, I mean, I understand the reticence, certainly in that regard. Right, let's see here. We've got Player of the Year. We're going to put our vote in for the player with the lowest average rating in the hope that improves the chances of our players. So Mano Bueno it is. Manu Bueno, we get the vote in there. Noah Atabolo is fighting with Alex Merritt, so we will go with Christian Fruchtel, who's conceded 35. No, we're going with Robert Sanchez. Oh, are we going with... Yeah, we're going with Robert Sanchez. He's conceded 39 goals in 29 games, kept fewer clean sheets as well. So we'll get those votes in. You know, we need to try and weight it in our favour a little bit. See if we can just play around with things a little bit there. Console, you was wrong saying last month. From what I've heard and following up, nothing yet, but professionally they've been active recently. It's slowly ramping up, I think. Fair enough. I mean, from my perspective, I'm expecting it to be very much on the same time scale as you would for a normal release. So maybe we'll hear something early August, just like a little bit of news, and then the normal release stuff that happens September, ahead and around the time that we sort of shortly before the early access becomes available and so forth. But I want to know, right, what are things that people want to hear about that not many people are talking about, right? Like, so, you know, there's a lot of talk out there about the new UI. There's a lot of talk about there being new game modes and things like that. But what is stuff that we've heard a lot about, things that are going to be removed? What are the things that people are looking forward to hearing about? Maybe getting a little bit more insight into. Like for me, it's going to be around those things that we've previously heard that were removed. You know, I'd love to know what the timetables are going to be looking like for international management, for draft mode, for challenge mode and things like that they previously said had been left off. Are we going to get them immediately? Are we going to have a phased rollout? So yeah, I'd love to know what you guys are looking forward to hearing about. So Adam is recovering and doing okay. You found the trick is just an endless amount of antibiotics. That is a pretty decent trick from the sounds of things. So Aaron, you got an email from Sort It Out SI about some giveaway for FM26. So presume it'll be released. Interesting. I mean, I don't know how close the relationship is between Sort It Out SI and Real SI. So it'd be interesting to know if they know a thing or two. So FM Conferences alpha testing has not begun yet, and you saw a non-FM pod saying they wanted a particular expert recently focusing on youth. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, surely if alpha testing was underway, no one would know about it anyway, right? Because that's the kind of point, is they tend to keep that a little under wraps. So they also sold some copies of FM25 before, indeed. So Blue Lines, you want them to be realistic, like you want United to be shit because they are shit rather than just overrating top teams. Oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a time where Man United just aren't a very, very good team for a change. So Console gave to FM24 away for free twice. G&G is interested in player interactions and press conferences revamp. Would be great to hear. That sounds fair. MTG thinks it will probably be released. Oh, welcome in, Hung Min. How you doing, my dude? How are you doing? Lovely to see you, my man. So console, if anyone's watching and not got it, but Amazon Prime, you can get it for free and support Musterman on Twitch too. Indeed. If you do have Amazon Prime, you are able to subscribe to the channel, which with an Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription that you get to give to whether you want to use it here or on any creator, which is absolutely incredible. So RJ gave yourself FM24 too. That's the real trick. That's the real trick. Right, we head into the game against Juventus. Let's do this. Are we going to actually take the opportunity whilst there, or are we going to collapse right at the moment where we could potentially jump ahead of Inter Milan once again? We are going to talk about no pressure. No pressure has been good for us these last few months. We are going to make sure that we are marking correctly. So Gorna Duath is the more attacking defensive midfielder. He's on the right. So that means I want Kari picking up him, which he is. Rocha should pick up the attacking midfielder. He is. And Benato should be picking up the other defensive midfielder, Locatelli. So they are all set as we want them. Hopefully that's good. Hopefully that's going to be good. So Space Puffin, only the alphas would know, but they share the info with the sigmas and the betas. It's all those Greek letters. All those Greek letters. Welcome in, Draw. How are you doing, sir? Lovely to see you. How's your week gone so far? So Adam agrees over the player interactions and press conferences. Match day experience is another for you. If I'm away at the Burnabout, at least give me some realistic crowd noise rather than it feeling like I'm playing Barnsley away on a Wednesday night. That's a fair shout. A fair shout indeed. Welcome in, Three Demons. Thank you very much for the follow. We're asking people right now, what are they most looking forward to in terms of news about FM26? So if you're comfortable chatting, love to hear from you. There is no obligation to do so. Obviously, feel free to lurk. So here's the cross in, and we have absolutely fluffed it at a bolo with a hideous error 3 minutes into the game. Oh no, Hunderman wants a more flexible tactic system and also more assistance on transfers. What are the issues you're dealing with on transfers? And what does a more flexible tactic system look like to you? Console says you've been told by someone, but it also fits the QA recruitment cycle. Fair enough. So John said, I only got FM24 when it was free on Epic Games. That's also fair enough. Okay, are we about to shit the bread again? Here comes Elise. Elise, all the way back to Carnasechi. Carnasechi finds Bennett. Bennett now. Out wide. Noosa. Noosa's going to run it down the left wing. Noosa sends the cross in. We can't see the ball right now. We can't see the ball at all. Can I zoom in anymore? I can't. Cambiasso to Vlahovic. Vlahovic out to Gorna Duath. Sasha Boué with the cross. Noosa's the target. We get it away. Now, is it get there? He can't. Hilgers. It's just pressure after pressure after pressure. Vlahovic with the header hits the outside of the post. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Let's do this. So Barnsley, there's nothing wrong with Barnsley away on a Wednesday night. There was nothing wrong with that. They have David McGoldrick. I really liked David McGoldrick when he was at Villa. His 6-month loan spell, he was very, very good. Granted, that was a few years ago. We are sloppy on the ball. Gave it away there. Here's Locatelli to Noosa. Noosa out to Gorna Duath from distance. Oh my God, it's a mega goal, and we are throwing it away. We are throwing it away. That goal is stupendous. Absolutely incredible stuff. What a fabulous strike. We've had very little of the ball. It's only got 15 minutes worth of information there, but it has been there. They're having a lot of joy down the right-hand side, even though that highlight came from the left. The other one came from an absolute horrendous error by Atabolo. We're struggling to make inroads down that side as well. So let's see what we can do here. We are going to try and keep the ball away from Elise. We're going to try and show them out over to the left because they are being dangerous down that side. We are going to make sure these guys are marked up. We're going to apply our pressure on Gorna Duath and Locatelli. When we move them out to the left as well, we're going to put a pressure on Cambiasso. And we need more of the balls. So we're going to drop down to positive. Going to take counter off. I think we are going to go with the inverted winger role out this side. So we need to mark specific position. He's on the left. Let's mark on the right. We are throwing it away, unfortunately. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So let's catch up with a couple of other bits as well. Juventus is going to be easy, says Hungdaman. Oh, it's not. It's evidently not. So Nickname wants AI generated faces for new gens would be a nice touch versus the PS1 graphics it currently has. I'm definitely very strongly against AI generated faces. I've covered on the channel before why I am strongly against AI, so I'm afraid I can't agree with you on that one. And that's before we even talk about the cost implication of such. So Dan Bassist in, welcome in, my dude. How are you, sir? How are you? How's your week been so far? I mean, we chatted yesterday, but how's your day been so far? How was the pizza? So Console, honestly, you want the UI to be modular and data hub to be similar to your skin. That's fair. So Dan Bass was looking forward to seeing some news about the women's game. It depends if there's early access or a beta indeed. So I'd love to hear how many saves DM basis will start, then quit within the first month of FM26's release. RJ is going for 12. I think that's a fair guess. I think you've been quite conservative with your guessing there. So that's the if it depends if there's a beta, right? Okay. So Space Puffin's hoping they don't change anything about the regen's faces. Fair. We are getting run over. Indeed, we are, MTG. We are shit. I told you we should have saved the game and quit out so we could see the ball before this game, and maybe in turn reset the luck modifier because we were really rubbish in the first game as well. Right, let's see. Our fullbacks are an issue, but we have no defenders because our best centre back is out injured, and our right backs are as well. Ricardo Rocha's having a poor game, so in comes Reinders. We need to possibly drop you into this role too. So we're going to say roam from position, take more risks, dribble more. You need to be marking Locatelli as well, so you're on that bit there. Again, we need to see if we can try and get a little bit of control on this game. Cancel there. I'm so angry right now. So angry right now. I don't need to speak to the guys who are anxious because they are both being subbed off. Everyone has responded to that. So let's see how we do in the second half. Can we get some momentum in our favour? Early signs is a no. An absolute no. This is very, very bad. Let's have a look here. Again, they've got so much of the ball down the right-hand side. We're trying to push them to the left. We are having absolutely no joy in doing so. So let's pop these guys up. He keeps his spot there. We do need to start attacking as well. We desperately need to chase this game. On comes Kerem's coming into that role. We're going to play Nuama out on the left, Palmer on the right. No, Palmer behind the striker. Kerem can play on the right. Let's stop trying. We're not managing to gain more control of the ball, so let's stop trying. Let's try and get a little bit more direct, see if that makes any difference. It makes absolutely no difference. We are now another 10 minutes. We've had a shot! We've had a shot! Hallelujah, it's on target. We've had 2 shots. We are moving in the right direction, but the performance sadly isn't there. Right, we are bringing on Skamaka. The last change is probably going to have to be one of the tired players. So it's Cole Palmer off, Ardagula on. Do that. Pause. I'm going to shout at them. I'm going to tell them that they're rubbish. So let's see more if I can try and catch up a bit more on that there. So I'm so far behind, but I want to catch up on it, what everyone has to say in that regard. So I think 12 from the official release date is fair. Official release date 4 weeks. That's tricky actually. We have fucked it. We've been hard done by as well. An absolute mega goal, a hideous goalkeeping error, but we didn't do enough to score. So our chance to go ahead of Inter Milan, we have been nixed. We might just be looking at the cup potentially. So DM Base is not trying to be funny either. Without all the edits, XMLs, you might stick to something simple like Rangers for the first week or two, which would bring the numbers down. That is fair. Right, Bernatto picked up an injury at some point. Theo Hernandez picked up an injury. They are both going to should be back in time for the Empoli game. Scamacca's on a goal drought. Monterisi is tired. It's not looking good, guys. It's not looking good, guys. And we are going to give these guys a rest. And then away from home against Empoli. We've got a break coming up in a few minutes. When that break happens, I am going to close down the game because the ball isn't rendering properly. So what we did discuss during the first game. So I'll do that during the break. So it all changed. They hired Mustermann to draw the region. Oh God, that'd be horrendous. Johnson really hopes they added the in and out of possession player roles that got leaked. I think that's fair. So draw, what do I think of Villa's summer so far in terms of acquisitions and expectations? So we discussed this last night, actually. Like, we haven't had any major outgoings, so if we're happy with the squad, I'm kind of fine with it. I would like to see us maybe get some players in, but also we've got to balance squad size. I'm just like, meh. It's fine, but it's not bad either. Oh, welcome in, CJ. Lovely to see you, my dude. Crodmo is hoping they introduce France's NL2 as a manageable league out of the box so you can manage Bordeaux. That's fair. That's fair as well. So I'm doing all right. How are you? By the way, Textile decided that it was a bad idea to change RWDM's name, so he's reversed it. Fabulous. I hung them in for a flexible tactical system. You want them to just throw mentality away and change the role into questions. Is he a winger? Does he cut inside or stay wide? Does he want more balls? So on and so on. So you essentially want role free, but more focused on the instructions themselves. I can certainly get behind that. I think they need to still have some templates as well. There need to be a degree of ease for users. You don't want to have, somebody that wants to spend less time on the game. They don't want to have to go in and define every single thing for each player. And that's what the roles essentially do, is it's a set of instructions and behaviors that speeds that up a little bit. So John Texter, 50 ideas a day, 51 of them bad. Indeed. And you just said that would be too complex. Indeed, Hungerman. So Space Puff, and you're pleased they're paying real people for a more rustic football management simulation experience. There's something indeed. So day and basis, today has been hot and sweaty. However, today was Friday, so today was your Friday, so that's good. If it makes you feel better, I'll say that pizza was absolutely awful, inedible even. I believe you're lying to me, DM Bassist. I believe you're lying to me. So Johnson likes Sealand's new gen face thing, makes your save way more immersive. Fair enough. Inedible pizza, what was wrong with it? There's no pineapple. Indeed. Sorry, the pizza was generally one of the nicest I've ever had. No, Mustermann was jazz, was just trying to let him down gently. Bless you. I thought you were lying, and I appreciate you very much for that. Right, okay, so we've got an ad break coming up. We're going to save the game. We're going to close it down and hopefully get the ball textures back as well. I will see you guys in a few minutes. Right, we're back. We're back, and we're going to play a little bit of a mini game. We're going to play Guess the Player. So for those of you that haven't been here before, I'll explain how it works. In a moment, you're going to see 4 pictures from a player's profile, one after the other. You're going to see the positions they play, their attributes and traits. You're going to see their coach report, and you're going to see their career history. Your job is to try and guess who the player is. The earlier you guess, the more points you get, and those points get you on that lovely scoreboard currently beneath me. Nice and straightforward. Now, it's FM24, it's the beginning of the game, it's the vanilla version. So a player like Joshua Zirkzee, for example, is at Bologna, not Man United. Something to be mindful of. And there were some fabulous guesses coming in already. LeBron James is an amazing guess. Welcome in, by the way, Ryan. I'm going to pop on over to the first clue for you guys, and I'll catch up a little bit on chat. I see Hung De Min is advocating for Vietnamese pineapple. I mean, there isn't really UK pineapple, to be fair, so I'm 100% on board with that. I do think that Majestic Gooseberry sounds like a very, very fine pub. I would definitely go to the Majestic Gooseberry. And I also like the idea of famous non-footballer photos for players. I don't know if you remember, there used to be like fans of the game could submit their photos, and they would be in FM06 as new gens, which was quite cool. So we've now got some proper guesses coming in, and those guesses are Michael Keane, they're Phil Newman, they're Tony Hawk, they're David Luiz, Ben Godfrey, Valderrama, Thiago Silva, David Luiz, Salvini, Sergio Ramos, Kevin Toner, Scalvini, that makes a lot more sense. Zerichel does arrive just in time. It's disgraceful, isn't it? Another guest comes in for Thiago Silva. Busy Baron is going for Jamie Oliver. Now, do you think it's more likely to be Jamie Oliver or Tony Hawk? I'm a big fan of how varied you've gone. It's beautiful there. Could it be Beraldo? Could it be Dunk or Harry Maguire? It is none of those players. Let's move on to the next clue. See if that helps us at all. Because like most centre-backs, he's a player that can head. He's a player that can jump. He's strong. He can tackle. In particular, he likes to dive into tackles. I wonder if that helps at all. Probably doesn't, to be fair. So is it the actor Christopher Timothy? Is it William Pacho or Bremer? Is it Greg Wallace? Unfortunately, it was going to be Greg Wallace, but this player's autism has made him reveal his penis to women. Or something along those lines. Now, I would be very, very clear here. That is not a criticism or a mockery of people with autism. That is quite specifically a mockery of Greg Wallace trying to use that as an excuse and think that is even remotely acceptable. So Hung De Min thinks it might be Kae Ngok Hai. Could it be Yao Ming or Yoro? Sorry, we're in a game, missed the start. Wide centre-back. I can't remember what his best role was, but this is a centre-back indeed. A very tall centre-back. Could it be Mark Gay? Could it be Christian Romero? Could it be Kimbo Slice? Could it be Baba Mensah? Could it be Bremer? It's not Bremer. It's not Anton. It's not Simicon. It might be Sir Ian McKellen. In fact, let's move to the next clue and see if it is Sir Ian McKellen. Because Sir Ian McKellen does indeed play in La Liga, but he's not close to his full potential. So there's a very good guess, but not there. And that does also exclude Ibrahima Konate. So we are looking for a player that can only play as a centre-back in La Liga. So that's unfortunately not Juan Foyth either, who is, I don't know if he's accomplished or natural at right-back. Could it be Kabasi? Could it be Dumic? Could it be Lane Normand? Just before the league reveal in your defence. Indeed, absolutely. Could it be Christian Mosquera? Could it be Montilla or Christensen or Jimenez or Duarte or Danny Vivian? Could it be? Could it be Miguel Angel Nadal or Sanchez? I can tell you guys, we do have a correct answer. We have a correct answer. And what makes it particularly sensational is that we have a strong advocate for South American representation in the chat, but they didn't guess Christian Mosquera. And it's good that they didn't guess Christian Mosquera, because it is Real Sociedad's Robin Lenormand. That is 2 fabulous points making its way to Pixelated Suits. Welcome in, Pixel. How are you doing it, my dude? I hope you are doing very, very well. Now, if you don't follow Pixelated Suits, you most definitely should be. He's part of the wonderful Something About Soccer podcast with Dill40k and Bizarra Absolute gentleman, absolute star. So as a way to give him an applause for getting those points, why not give him a follow too? Why not give him a follow too? There is applause coming in though from GNG, from Zerichel. A console reckons he's the Vivian. Sounds very good. Sadly, it isn't. Who is Robin Lenormand? Robin Lenormand is a very, very good defender for Real Sociedad. He's one of those what's that area between Spain and France? It's the Pyrenees, isn't it? Where, you know, he comes from that area where it's all kind of a little bit mixed in there. And DM bassist.
It's not the statistics. It's not the statistics. You tell me, how do you measure somebody that could balance a balloon in a wind tunnel on a needle?
Oh, DM bassist. He's gone one step further, gifted a subscription to Pixelated Suits. What a gentleman you are, sir. What an absolute gentleman you are. Right, let's pop back on over to the game. So we are now back up to the Empoli game. We have lost since quitting the game, loading it back up, moving forward 2 days. Hernandez still isn't back. Anita Hammer is. Navarro is now suspended, so we do just have Theo as the only player on the bench who can play in defence. We've brought Reinders in for Rocha. We've brought Ardagula in for Palmer, and we are going to run with this and hope we can see things over the line, perhaps. So Hungermin gets the wrong Basque team, unfortunately. So Busy Baron, oh dang, you were so close, Busy Baron. Ian McKellen was I mean, it's in the ballpark, right? That's what counts. What counts indeed. I said, John C, you might as well pack it in. Watch about 5 La Liga games a season. I mean, that'll do. That will definitely do. So let's see here. We've got so Console's got a wonderful save idea. Do tell. And again, I'd love to hear from you guys about what you're looking forward to hearing about from Football Manager. We are going to say I want to see a marked improvement. I'm going to say I need a strong defence. We need to dominate in the midfield, and I'm expecting to see quality finishing. We are going to make sure we're marking up. It's the same way around. So we've got Rodriguez, the more attacking. That's Kari's responsibility. He's on it, which means those other ones will be assigned to the right players as well. Let's pick this up against Daniel De Rossi's Empoli, currently in 15th place. We surely aren't going to drop the proverbial ball here. Zerichel speed driving to forget Lenormand so bad, and that's it. You just weren't quite in the mood in the moment, right? Wasn't it? You know, you got back, but getting composed is an entirely different skill set. It's been a pretty terse start to the game. There's been a couple of shots from either side, but no real proper chances. There we go. So from a momentum perspective, time to fire up these guys. 4 shots in the entire game. Neuhammer gives it away. And so here comes the first highlight. Yannick sending it along. Emanuele, that's an amazing ball. Bockers loses out. The challenge is crossed. Belade, shots blocked. Rogers fires it over. Oh, that was a delightful pass over the top. Bockers, look, he's our third choice left back. We don't want to be starting him, but we are a little bit short in defence. And that's why he's there. And he did show a little bit of his naivety, bless him. Right, so RJ says, sad to say, you really don't care about FM26? That's fair. I mean, nothing. It would be unreasonable to expect or to force people to. So Cromos describes you as a miserable old walloon. I guess the best news would be you would have more content to create and some other streamers would stop crying, or not. Oh, RJ, I mean, it's been a long day for RJ, to be fair. Dealing with all that concrete, I can understand being a little bit cranky. As Zerichel, you ended second or 2 out of 5 for mini golf. It's a sad day. Mini golf is I've never quite managed to jive with mini golf. I think it's because I don't care enough about proper golf, even though they're completely incomparable things. Right, we've had a lot of the ball. We just haven't had a lot of the chances. They obviously that moment right at the those chances there, massive chance. 0.65 chance there, but Empoli have been better. We need to tell these guys off. We're going to do the same thing. Drop down, go higher, take play out defense off. Let's be a little bit more direct, but without being too over the top. And we've got a highlight straight away. Ardagula feeds to Tijani Reinders. There's no question mark about it being offside.
mercenary. Ain't nobody I'd rather be. Milan, you're mercenary. They can't take that away from me.
Boom! Tijani Reinders. I think that might be his first goal of the season. Unfortunately, Ernest Nuama has picked up an injury now. We can't have nice things, can we? Here we go. Let's get Mosconi out there. Only an orange injury, so we should be absolutely fine though. So Hungdaman FM YouTube is good when Crew and Musterman and RDF are cooking something. It's always fun. It's certainly going to be interesting to see what happens in terms of content and ideas. Hopefully there'll be some juices flowing from people as we send the cross in. Arda Gula back to Reinders. Reinders from distance. It takes a horrible deflection, and that's his second goal of the game.
For the fans, it's because they see Milan will come on. Let's go mental in the stands. Goals for the fans, it's because they see Milan will come on. Let's go mental in the stands.
Tijani Reinders. It takes a horrible deflection off Burian. It's 2 goals from set pieces. We haven't been great. We've got lucky. But we can also feel a little bit unlucky with the last game. So, you know, the Lord he giveth, the Lord he taketh away, and so forth. Kari is looking tired. So we're going to bring on Kajuste. We're going to say that we have faith in them. And then we can save our last couple of changes for a few minutes' time as well. So unfortunately, Crew is bored with FM for a while, so only Musterman and RDF. RDF is back at it though again, which is great. Absolutely fabulous stream earlier on. So Arda Gula seizes on an error with his weaker foot though, fires over. Johnson's going to go watch the Women's Euros now. Let's hope Finland can beat Switzerland and qualify for the knockout. Finland looked pretty good in the last game. It was an unfortunate result against Norway. The winning goal, the misjudgment of the flight when your keeper had such a fantastic game up until that point. It's a little bit of a shame, but yeah, I thought you looked quite good. It was absolutely amazing when you got your equaliser. So good luck for tonight. Good luck. Right, this is our last stoppage. So what do we want to be our last change out here? I think we're going to get Anita Hammer just a little bit of game time. Get him familiar. And hopefully we can have him close to being ready to start a few games. Should be back, I think, for the next one. So yeah, we did improve in the second half. That's all we can ask for. Started to get a lot more chances, which is great, but we've still absolutely done them. That's 2 games in a row now where the winning team has scored 2 goals from less than 1 XG. It's a second game in a row for us when we've had less than 1 XG as well. So there seems to be some work to do. But more importantly, we were able to see the ball, which is quite nice. The most important thing that's happened. So now we are relying on Inter Milan having to mess up. And they are at least in the Champions League semi-finals. They're 1-0 up against Liverpool. Liverpool, who lost 1-0 to us away from home, but then destroyed us 6-0 in the second leg. But the more competitions that Inter are in, hopefully the more chances they're going to be tired. That said, we're not in many competitions, and we're really struggling for injuries without that pressure on us. And Navarro can come back onto the bench, so it's likely to be Theo. We'll sort that out closer to the time. It's just 3 days between games again, so we can't really give Monterisi any extra rest. But after this game against Palermo, we'll probably give him like 3 or 4 days off, so that hopefully he can get a little bit fresh for the final few games of the season. So Palermo in 12th, back to a home game, which would be really nice for us as well. MTG, it was 2 goals from 2 shots, and horrible deflection for that second goal as well. A thoroughly undeserved win. But we'll take it. We certainly won't complain about that. Can we get? Oh, it clashes with our game as well, doesn't it? So we can't do that. We don't need to speak to the players ahead of this game. We might need to use that a little bit closer. Maybe if we're still in with a fighting chance on the last day of the season, we'll use it for the away game against Fiorentina. But otherwise not. It was Carlos, one of the players that we were looking at from the next gen list, possibly. He's a centre-back that lacks bravery, which is a bit scary, but he's also 6'4" and left-footed, which is quite cool. Injury prone isn't great. Adaptability, that's understandable at that age. He's not got any experience in the senior squad, not to be surprised there. And whilst he's quite affordable, I think we don't necessarily need to do that. So RJ, to win the fucking league, you sometimes have to win bad games. Exactly. We've won a few bad games, to be fair. Right, okay, we've got none of these other guys going to... Let's have a look at their personalities. Balanced for him. Balanced for Morale and low determination. We won't pick up Mori, but can we have a strong idea of what size the squad is going to be? So if we go general info, age. So we then have these players minus these ones for next season in the under 18s we expect. So that's a left back, a right midfielder, a goalkeeper, 2 central midfielders, a striker, a left winger, a whole load of centre backs, another left winger, a defensive midfielder. So I do feel we've got is that a second striker? No, we've got just one striker who's likely to be in our squad at that point. Possibly then, typical, wouldn't it? The other possible players, the low determination guy. We're going to offer the low determination guy a contract, just so we've got numbers in our youth lineup there. So we say youngster, youth contract, absolutely fine. Yeah. Other than that, the rest of those guys can all expire, which is absolutely fine. Busy Brown, what country is the fucking league in? It's actually what Serie A translates to. I'm quite surprised that they're so bold to have such a rude name, but you know the Italians, they're very, very passionate. Welcome in, Marwan. Lovely to see you, my dude. Background music name, no idea what the song's called. It is Stream Beats. So I have absolutely no idea, I'm afraid. It does work with every league, that is very true. So Morin asks, do you think FM can sometimes force a bit too much micromanagement? I think a lot of the staff and training aspects of the game can be really simplified and improved. Well, I mean, in many respects, Morin, the game allows you to deal with it as much as you want. So we can delegate training, we can delegate contracts, we can delegate all of that, and that takes away a lot of the micromanagement required. Whereas for those that want to micromanage, they can. I think that's quite a good balance. I appreciate that if you then want to get the absolute, if you want to min-max, if you want to make sure that you are getting the absolute perfect combination of training sessions in across the course of all your teams, and you're making sure that youth development is perfect, you're going to have to min-max. You're going to have to micromanage to get those outcomes. So how is good old Sunshine getting on? Well, I'll be honest, I mean, he's been with us for, what, 2-3 weeks? So I have no idea. We can have a look. But I imagine that Dario G Sunshine is very much in the same state that he was when we picked him up a few weeks ago. He's still looking like a unrefined goalkeeper. We can't compare attribute change since any time because he's been here less than a month. So we couldn't tell you. Busy Man, I don't think you have the fucking league loaded in your database. Yeah, I say it's a translation issue. G&G, Mick Hucknall used to claim he won the fucking league, did he? Don't get the reference. To be fair, everyone easily pictures Mick Hucknall with his glorious long ginger hair, and I know he's had that shaved off for a very long time. I'm struggling to think of how a single Simply Red song goes. Which isn't a good sign. Right, into the game. We've got a grey goalkeeper on the bench. Nita Hammer's still short on fitness. That's absolutely fine. Theo back into the starting lineup. Washer's going to stay on the bench for a while. We're going to bring Kajuste in to start. I think that Kari, like Washer, hasn't been great. And we are going to go with what we finished the game. We'll keep playing out of defence to start off with, but we'll go with that slightly higher tempo but lower mentality and see how we go from there. Gene Simmons, surely. Oh, God. Yep, I am slow. Mick Hucknall claimed he slept with thousands of women, so he would win in that regard. If you don't know me by now, you will never know me. Ooh, I did not expect you to start shouting Simply Red lyrics at me, Quadmo, of all the people. It's a lovely thing to see. Right, let's say that we have faith, that no pressure, sorry. And then we have faith. Standard malarkey here. It's exactly the same way round as the last couple of teams, so we've got the same marking responsibilities in there. Let's get a good performance in, lads. That's what we need. Holding back the years, thinking of the fear I've had so long when somebody has, like the melody, none of it is going in. It's just not triggering anything with me at all. And I'm looking at If You Don't Know Me By Now, and I can we can't see the ball again. We can't. What's happening with the ball? Yeah, so after restarting the game to get the ball back, it's still not there, which is very odd. I wonder what's causing that. That could be a bit of an issue. I'll give the skin a refresh. I'll make sure that caching is turned off. But that the skin files don't change that. That's in a separate area of the game. Yeah, but so I read the lyrics. I'm like, okay, even If You Don't Know Me By Now, I kind of know the melody. But as I try to think about it, I get Life by Des'ree stuck in my head for some reason, which doesn't make any sense at all. FM console, that's because a lot of women won't admit they slept with him or he's dreaming. That's a fair point. Llama did ignore Simply Red Hot Chili Peppers and Right Said Fred Hot Chili Peppers. Money's Too Tight to Mention is a Simply Red song. It is indeed. Hung them in. We did mark the opponents. We already have it set up. And if the opposition is set up in a specific way, we focus on it based on the double pivot of the opposition. So we're 1-0 up. That's good. They didn't respond well to that. So if the more attacking player in the double pivot is on the right, it's already set up perfectly. So our left-sided defensive midfielder picks up that player. Our right-sided defensive midfield player picks up that one. And our false 9 drops back. If the setup is a different way round, then we need to change it. Now we've not lost Donna Kebab to injury, but Donna Kebab is the latest injured. So Anita Hammer is not fully fit, but he's going to come in anyway. We're going to take play out of defence off. We're going to say, keep going. You weren't that bad. We're also going to bring off Alexander Isak. He scored the goal, but he's lost focus. So we'll make that change at half time as well. And hopefully that'll do us some good. So we had a lot of the ball. Again, only a few shots. We finally got over 0xg, which is 0xg, 1xg, which is nice. Yeah, it was their last game at MTG. It seems really peculiar. As Theo comes forward, sends it in. Skamaka with another ghost goal.
Milan, come together, clap your hands, save me. Scoring goals, AC Milan.
Theo drives down the left-hand side. It's a low cross to Skamaka. It's almost a carbon copy of the first goal from Isak. Skamaka ends his goal drought with goal number 8 since arriving in January for us. It's clearly there. You can see it sometimes. It looks like a bowling ball, a black bowling ball. It's completely textureless. There's no dots on it. So it looks like the texture itself hasn't loaded. Because I think the dots of the ball are basically just the bits where the texture isn't. We can make some changes. Nuama's going to come off because he's looking tired. Kajuste is going to come off. We're going to bring on Rocha so he gets some game time. Hopefully get him back into form. And then let's give these guys a little bit of a chat there. And we will go. Final change is... Right, Theo had a bit of a knock as well. He's only just returned back from that, so we'll bring him off at the end there. We don't have enough data on the ball to see it. Indeed, how many revolutions per second has it gone through? If we don't know that information, we don't deserve to see it. Fairground's a banger. That's a fair shout. So Crodmo, it's in the middle of the night when the time is right, sexily right. I'm going to do the right thing. It's that just creepy. Welcome in, Benakage. How you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. Crodmo, do you mind giving Benakage a shout out? Because Ben, if you're not following Benny, you most definitely should be. An absolute gentleman, wonderful creator, plays FM, doing a fabulous, trying to win everything in FM23, I believe, at the moment, but also plays some other games as well. Oh, Simon, welcome in as well, sir. You can change the ball colour and settings, so maybe try a simply red ball and see if that works. I see what you did there. We will, though, try and pop on in and see if we can do that. Benakage, please, Gradmo. Yes, thank you very much. Let's have a look here. We'll go into preferences. Is it in colours is the question, or is it elsewhere? I've never actually changed it before, so let's make it red. Let's do, as you said. That's also going to reload the skin as well, so we'll have a couple of moments as it does its lovely little bit there with all the logo packs and stuff. It might take a few moments there. See, I love the thought of coming home to you. That I can hear in my head now, just about. It does still have a shadow. The ball is there. I mean, I can see it, but I appreciate that it's just small. And when you've got an interface on a browser that's also got chat windows, or you might be using your phone and stuff, it's not particularly helpful. So console's got to go, but you might be back later. No worries. Thank you very much for dropping by, my dude. Everyone loves the thought of coming home to you. Beautiful stuff. So Benny, you're getting your ass kicked in the K-League 1 at the moment. Oh dear. I'm not too bad. We might have fucked the league. We were 2 points behind. Okay, we have no defenders. So Donna Kebab is our third choice right back. We've been playing HJ Bokkers as our third choice left back. We are running out of defenders at a crazy rate. So Bjorn Rod is 2 weeks away from returning. Zanotti is missing the rest of the season. Donna Kebab is going to be out for a week. He might make it back in time for the next game, to be fair. We've got 8 days, which is good. So we can pop these guys through on a rest. Training. Okay, that's not too bad. We do have a week off. Monterisi needs a proper rest. So we're going to pop them off for 4 days. That's all right. We have got a budget of... Oh, that's better. 32 million euros, 5.5 million euros per week. That is far more reasonable. It's still 2 million euros a week in wage budget we've got spare. But that stops our crazy amount of money there. So Marwan asks, do you have any idea on how to automate some tasks in FM using Python? It's not something I've explored. It's not something I would know enough about, I'm afraid. So Crommo says, Mrs. Crommo claims she looked like Mick Hucknall when she was a teenager. That's fair. I can see it. Those flowing red locks. Absolutely. Venkatesh, how do you make skins? Are you a developer? I'm not a developer. It's just a markup language. So it's like HTML or CSS. So a lot of the actual functionality is defined by SI in the background. But it's then about basically abusing it to do things that's not necessarily intended. So it's reading the guides out on the SI forums. It's a lot of trial and error as well. Right, Aratalo wins Best Manager of the Month, despite us throwing it away potentially right at the end there. Inter win their game again. There are 3 games remaining. We need them to slip up. And to slip up, they've got 2 home games, one against 13th place Bologna, one against 10th place Udinese, and an away game against 19th place Cagliari. We might be able to keep it. We might be able to take it down to the final day of the season, but it does look like we might have missed our opportunity, unfortunately. DM Basis, so you're saying that you're punching to Cromwell? Indeed, without doubt. So Benny, you're 2, 2 and 6. You led 6 of the 10 games at some points. 5 points adrift from safety. Oh, that is rotten. That is rotten indeed. All right, we've got our youngsters all sorted. A load of players just to bulk out the youth team. And we've got our 2 renamed players, Sunshine and One More Ting, who we've got high hopes for. High hopes. You'd think that your data-led approach would indicate that you need defenders. You would think so, wouldn't it? You would think it would tell us that. Specifically ones that aren't injured, we would have hoped. Are we watching Lelujo? Why? What? I missed that reference, sadly. They have a very easy end of the season. They really do. I think we have a pretty easy end ourselves, to be fair. Well, Lecce away from home, Bari at home, away against Fiorentina on the last day of the season, going to be tricky. We also have a small matter of a cup final against Inter to come up as well. That's our chance for the double, potentially. Liverpool, please destroy their morale. We can only hope. Only hope. We need a miracle, or otherwise we're going to be Arsenal. Well, we've already been Arsenal, Hungdamin. We threw it away last season as well, didn't we? The Champions League final. So we can see how it was. Ironically, 2 Arsenal of all teams. We took the lead in the opening minute, and then we conceded 2 goals. The last one in extra time to Arsenal to lose it there. Napoli, Juventus. They're doing fine. No changes there. Come on, Liverpool. If Liverpool can do to them what they did to us, absolutely destroy them. A 6-0 would be incredible. Mattia Mori. Oh, that was the other player that we offered a contract to, but he got released before he agreed to the contract. So that's fine. We get him in. That's cool. He is now down in the under 18s, right? Nope, they move him into the under 20s, so we drop him down another step there. I do sign strikers. That is the one distinction. To be fair to Arsenal, they might sign Gyökeres, they might sign Sesko, they might sign Watkins, and they haven't been doing this every transfer window for the last 2 years. Honest. Liverpool didn't keep up their end of the bargain. In fact, Liverpool threw it away. They got the equaliser, then 2 goals from Inter, Antonio and Gagliardi. Before a late Trent Alexander-Arnold consolation, 3-2, Inter are through to the Champions League final. A Sinister, welcome in, my dude. How are you? Lovely to see. Double wobble, do not struggle. Indeed. One season is not enough. Arsenal do it all the time. That is true. Grizzly's in. Welcome in, my dude. How are you? Is it weird that you like every team in Serie A except Juventus? Is it the cheating? Grizzly? The constant cheating over hundreds of years that causes you to not like Juventus? Because I get it. Ironically, I kind of have a soft spot for Juve, and it basically boils down to they were good in the 90s. Cool, another injury. It's Ernest Nuama is out now as well. We have been very, very unfortunate with injuries in the last few sessions that we've had. I think last time... let's have a look. We have had 56. It always says expected total 72. Compared to last season, though. So we've only just moved into May. We were on a par, one behind. That brings us 3 ahead. That brings us 1 behind. That brings us 4. That brings us 4 behind. That brings us 5 behind. Now that's 1 behind. 1 ahead. Level. 1 ahead. So up until April, we've only actually had 1 more injury than last season. We've only had 2 major injuries. It's just a long handful of moderate injuries there. Last season arguably was quite comparable. So I'm evidently complaining over nothing. There we go. So Benny, they might sign yes before they settle on another midfielder. Another midfielder indeed. But, you know, as much as you want to knock Arsenal for it, they have still been consistently a very, very good team for a number of years. I know that it's fun to go, they choke and everything, blah, blah, blah. But there are at least 18 other teams in the Premier League that would like to have swapped place with Arsenal for the last 3 or 4 seasons. You know, this season was very disappointing. The previous 2 seasons, they came, you know, they were really, really, really good. And there's a lot to see. If they get that final piece of the puzzle, you know, they might just make it over the line potentially. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way, Linus. Welcome in. And Kinked Peach. If you guys are comfortable jumping in chat, I'd love to know who you're playing with, who you support as well, but no obligation to do so whatsoever. And Sinister just says, bro, stop dissing my Arsenal. Well, I've just said some nice stuff about Arsenal there, to be fair. Crudmo, I don't like Lazio either. Yeah, fuck Lazio. I am completely on board with that. MTG, didn't they cheat in the 90s? Yes. But I didn't know that they cheated in the 90s. That was at the time I didn't know, and that's where the affection was built. As a young child, they were just a good team that were fun to watch. That's where my soft spot comes from. Welcome in, Coratiba. How are you? Just like most Italian clubs. That is also quite fair. That is definitely quite fair. Penny, if you name a decade, Juventus has cheated in it. If you name a century, they've cheated in it. If you name a year, they've cheated in it. Every single permutation, Juventus have probably cheated at some point. RJ only likes Potenza. Fair enough. Not yet with the 2030s. It's only a matter of time. Benny is completely on the money there. Crudmo, 2 words to sum up why everyone should hate Juventus. Ian Rush. I think your Liverpool hatred is shining through, Crudmo. It's like he was playing in a foreign country. Indeed. Sinister, 2 points behind. Exactly. All these people hating on that poor old lady. We're just we're all misogynists. We're all misogynists and we hate old people. It is basically that. Right, we have a look up for Fernino. So let's do the honours DM basis. He is currently at Seattle Sounders. He's now 32 years old. 4 goals in 11 games is not too bad. He's got 225 games out in Seattle. Never broke into the Spain team. Value hasn't really gone up in. Oh, didn't mean to press that one at any point. So he went straight from Burgos to Seattle. That's 165 goals in the save though, which is pretty damn good in 325 games. So he's better than 1 in 2, even if he seems to have dropped off a little bit this season. He's a good player, isn't he? He's a good player. Absolutely tearing it up in the MLS. 2 seasons over 20 goals. We've got a couple here where you add in the other competitions as well. That looks good. 14, 11. And he was solid, if unspectacular, in the second division in Spain. First season was very good. Otherwise, not too bad. He's had a pretty good spell. We don't have any information on him, unfortunately. But could he be our Skamaka replacement? Potentially Skamaka and Isaac. We need someone younger to play up front, right? We need someone younger to play up front. And what could be younger than a 32-year-old Fernino? Welcome in, Kryptonic. How are you doing, my dude? Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you. So Linus, you're actually playing with QPR and support the mighty Tottenham. How's it going with QPR? That's an interesting choice indeed. So Sinister says all Serie A teams cheat. It's the history of Serie A. That is also a very, very fair observation. Is Mustermann being a bit choppy for anyone else? Not sound, just his movements a bit robotic. I don't know what you mean. I'm as good as what's his name? Peter Crouch at doing the robot. I do see that there was some rendering lag, a bit of a spike a little while ago. Hopefully that seems to have sorted out. It doesn't seem to be spiking at the moment. So do let me know if it pops up again. And with the speed that I keep in touch with chat, I will then realise 10 minutes later. How far off is Rod? He's still a week away. We're not going to force him into the lineup there. We're going to run with these guys. Anita Hammer has to play. Donna Kebab can play. We'll just have to go with it with our options there. So let's see. So I am a little bit, but your browser's being annoying. DM Basis is currently managing AZ. That's quite cool. MTG supports AZ. Fabulous. How do you feel about your team coming into the upcoming season? Zeratul, they play in black and white. They are OP. That's a fair. Not. Wait a second. Who are you talking about there? Tottenham. Who plays in? Only terrible teams play in black and white. AZ don't play in black and white. QPR don't. Tottenham don't. Are we talking Juventus? Okay. I'm a little bit slow. I mean, you already know that about me anyway, so no surprises there. Hopefully, we'll be able to see a ball in this game. Oh, I haven't done opposition instructions though. So let's do that quickly. We've got McLaughlin is the most attacking. He's on the left-hand side. You need to take McLaughlin. Well, actually, it lines up with a three-man midfield with a single defensive midfielder. It's not quite the same consideration as to who picks up the attacking midfielder. So we're going to put you on to Booney, and you need to drop back on the defensive midfielder, which is going to be Saravolo. We can confirm those changes. Newcastle, awful team. No, they're not an awful. The ball is red. There we go. The ball is fixed. It is simply red. As Owusu makes the save early on. Doesn't count as a shot. I think that was a cross that maybe took a little bit of a deflection on the way over. So first 15 minutes, we're doing okay from a momentum point of view, but not from a chance creation point of view. There's time to demand more already. Only 20 minutes in. We're not massively dominating in possession either. A lot of our play down the right-hand side. Let's take play out of defense off. See if we can just be a little bit more meaningful with our use of the ball, I hope. 120 and 225 games is MLS legend stuff. It is. It very much is. So MTG says they started selling players which weren't even playing all time for around 15 million is that. This kit is just like prison kit. No comment, Hungderman. No comment whatsoever. Right, let's see. That's another. We lack rhythm. We lack. Granted, we lack players as well. To be fair, Carl Palmer's not been great. We're going to bring on Kerem in that midfield spot there. We're going to drop him deeper. See if we can get a little bit more going. Try and encourage Hernandez to get forwards a little bit more as well. Take counter off. It is a back three. We do know it's going to be hard to break down. In fact, we've got a poacher in there, right? So let's see if he can pick up a rebound or two. Right, keep going. You weren't that bad. Isaac really isn't liking our team talks in recent games. That's a Hungdamin. In your country, prison kits are green and white. Juventus's kit is by extension a prison kit. Okay. Do they play in green and white? But Juventus playing white and black, surely. Relegation blue is scrub. Okay, we've got some Everton hate going on in there as well. I'm all on board for that. We are very, very bad. Right, let's increase the tempo. Change is coming. We're bringing on Scamacca. We're bringing on Mosconi. We are going to push you back up. We're going to make you a Segundo Volante and replace you with Kari. We may well, if we go into the last 10 minutes, we might have to push Theo further up as well. We're on our groove, apparently. Not enough of a groove, though, to create actual highlights that we get to watch. Into the last 10 minutes now. Right, there we go. This is absolutely chasing, because we've got the Volante. We're not going to put him on an attack duty, though. Just going to push him forward. Deep line forward there. Swap these guys around. So pop him as a deep line forward on attack. Rocha to replace Reinders. Come on, lads. Come on, lads. You can do this. Into the last few moments. Another chance. Not good enough for a highlight. 2 minutes remain. 2 minutes remain. One last throw of demand more. I think we can safely say that is the league title over. Ironic, really. We've had a game, though, that we created over 1xg for a change. Well, I'm disappointed. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed, even. Absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. Yeah, 4 points now. Inter Milan with a 4-0 victory over Bologna. 15th place, Lecce. Oh, that is bad. And we've now got a game against Inter in the Coppa Italia final. This game we won't have Bjorn Rod back at that point. We do have Donna Kebab back, though. We will go back to our preferred midfield there. Mosconi, I think, has more pace than Palmer. Palmer's been in a pretty poor run. Isaac has scored a couple of goals. I think that's going to be the team that we're looking at. And we're going to head on over to a mini-game, as has been redeemed by Zerachul. So let's pop on over to a round of Only Connect. Right, so if you guys are new in, let me explain.
So I'm not one of the bottle. I think I'm a special one.
I won't explain until Jose has spoken. So let me explain how Only Connect works. Really simple game. In a moment, you're going to see 4 players, one after the other. They all share some kind of common connection. Your job is to work out what it is. The earlier you guess, so with the fewer clues revealed, the more points you get. And the more points you get, the higher up the scoreboard you end up. Nice and straightforward. It is Thursday, so it is not a Friday only Connect, I'm pleased to say. So those connections, it could be that they've all played for the same club or under the same manager, or they all share a similar record, or there might be something a little bit crazier, like they have something in their names. That's normally a Friday only Connect. But we are not going for a Friday only Connect, but it is going to be tricky. I'm not going to make you think it's going to be easy, this one. I think this might be a slightly tricky one to see. Welcome in, Dill, as well. Lovely to see you, my dude. How you going? So here is our first clue. Do people know who we've got there? Now, I can't see a shout out for Dill, and that is disappointing, Crodmo. You should. I will do it for you because you're trying to play a game right now. But yes, if you guys aren't following Dill, go ahead, smash that heart button that is appearing in your top right as well whilst you do this. Draw has correctly recognized that this is Solomon Rondon. So what could a connection be? You've only got one player. It's very, very difficult to get 5 points right now. But we have a guess that it could be a West Brom connection. It could be that we're looking for the slowest footballers of all times. Players that scored in the Club World Cup, perhaps. Could it be people named Jose? That would be a bold one. Could it be Everton players? We've got Brazilian Fury in as well. Lovely to see you, my dude. How you doing? We've got Everton as a connection being guessed. They all have biblical first names. They're all born on a day, ending with a day. Okay, yeah, there we go. Did they play in Russia and China? So again, we've got another guess from Hungman for scored in the Club World Cup, but for clubs not in Europe and Asia. All-time country top scorers. We've got played for Real Oviedo. We've got played for multiple teams with striped kits. We've got all end their first and last name the same. So Solomon Rondon. You're going with the ON. They are some fine guesses. Sadly, those are not the case. Let's move on and see if the second clue can help us in any way. I'm sure there are many people here who recognize who that is, but if you don't, do pop it. Well, if you do know who it is, pop it in the chat so that everyone can be on the same page. That would be absolutely amazing. And Crodmo and Draw have done the honors. It is indeed Gilberto Silva. So do we have an idea of what the common connection could be between Solomon Rondon and Gilberto Silva? And talking of Gilberto Silva, it's quite nice for us to have I was just about to shout out Brazilian Fury, but I think I've got to wait a little bit longer as well. I was going to link the Brazilians there. So could it be a Widow's Peak hairline as the connection? I love it. It's sadly not. Do they all share names with oceanic islands? Is there an island called Gilberto, or an island called Silver? That would be amazing. It's not that, sadly, but that would be incredible. I get the Solomon Islands for sure. Less than 150 caps for their country. That could be a guess indeed. Scored the fastest goal in the Champions League. All scored against Manchester United. Players turned commentator. Won the Copa Libertadores. They are some very, very fine guesses. Sadly, it's not the same. So you were going with the Solomon Islands before Gilberto came up. Damn, I was hoping that you had this knowledge of some, because there were always those smaller little islands that people, never find out about until, we've got things like the Chagos Islands. Most people probably only have become aware of in the UK because of recent conversations, or some people refer to it as Diego Garcia because of the base there, or British Indian overseas territories like Christmas Island and all those things as well. It's also Salomon, not Solomon. That is also fair. Right, let's see the next clue. See if that helps at all. It probably might not, to be fair. It's as I said, this is a very, very tricky one. So Hong Min is going for all have the letter S in their name, and sadly, the next clue ruins that. I am very, very sorry. It is indeed Radmel Falcao, or as Crodmo says, the second best footballer called Falco. I wouldn't expect to hear any other suggestion from you, let's be fair. So could we think of any kind of connection that could possibly tie together Radamel Falcao, Gilberto Silva, and Salomon Rondon? It's going to be a tricky one, I can say for sure. Falcao, the invisible man in Manchester. I think he was. I thought that he was I thought he was quite good for Man United, to be fair, but not necessarily suited to how you play. So we've gone for they're all right-footed from Great Antoine. All played in the Copa America, says Brazilian Fury, which is a fine guess as well. Who's the last player? Can I remember who the last player is? I don't know if the last player will exclude that from this. So the last player would I think has also played in the Copa America, to be fair, but that it isn't the connection, I thought. All scored in the Copa Libertadores final something. Not that, I'm afraid. Welcome in, Mr. Tunafish as well. Goes for scored at a World Cup. It's not that either. Thank you very much for the follow, Barino Santos. Now, is Santos a surname, or are you a Santos fan? That'd be interesting. So we've got, have they all played with Ozil? Are they all still playing in their own countries? Is it fastest goals in a league, all had the same injury. It is none of those, I'm afraid. Let's reveal the final clue, because I'm not sure. No, this player definitely hasn't played in that's the last player. Definitely hasn't played in the Copa America. We can rule that one out now. But we are looking for something that connects Salmon Rondon, Gilberto Silva, Falcao, and Javier Hernandez Cruyff. Savvy indeed. It's a tricky one. I can, as I say, I'm going to 100% tell you it's a tricky one. I can tell you that the common connection is, at the very least, a person. So we've got captain at World Cup. It won't be that, unfortunately. All came third in the Ballon d'Or. Something is a fine guess as well. Won the Olympics is a great guess as well. Could it be that they all have Hernandez in their name? It's sadly not that either. Another guess for all captains. They are all certainly leaders on the pitch, but that's not what we're looking for. They all are connected to a singular person. Is it that they've all played with Ivan Rakitic? It is not that they've all played with Ivan Rakitic. It's not that they've all, I'm guessing, was the guess they'd all be managed by Tony Pulis? I would love to see a Tony Pulis managed Xavi. That would be incredible. Is it they've all played with Sanchez? Which Sanchez are you talking about? There are many Sanchezes. Do they all have the first name of a Colombian drug dealer? They might do. My contacts of Colombian drug dealers is relatively small, so I don't know a Gilberto, but the others certainly track. So have they all played with Pedro? Have they all been naked in the shower with Tony? Quite possibly. All played with Lukaku, Alexis. Cromwell's going for Day Sanchez. So we're going with Alexis Sanchez. It is not. I will rule out one last thing. It's a person. It is not a player. It is not a player that is the common connection. We are really, really going to be testing your knowledge of managers. I have a feeling. Oh, who do I think could possibly get if Grizzly is around? Grizzly is around, so I think Grizzly might be able to get this. It might be tricky for some others. So we've got some, guess again, all played with Fabgas, sadly. That came through before that information. It's relatively small nowadays. That is very true, Crodmo. Thank you for the connection. Did they play for a Dutch manager? It is not a Dutch manager. So it's not Van Gaal. It is not Ronald Koeman. Formsy was going to suggest the same agent, which is a fine idea. It is someone else. Is it Ranieri? It is not Ranieri. I can tell you, we've got Rijkaard being guessed. We've got Pellegrini being guessed. So I can completely rule out Dutch managers. Crudmo is going for Martino. It is not Martino. But Great Antoine. Who's the player that Pellegrini absolutely managed at the same club as this manager? In fact, it is at the same club that they managed Salmon Rondon. So could it be Bielsa, Villas-Boas, Mourinho, Pep, Redknapp, Rafa Benitez? They are all fabulous guesses. The closest so far is Villas-Boas, I would say. The connection. So there is someone who has managed Salmon Rondon at the same club as this manager. They've managed Xavi, but not at Barcelona. They've managed Gilberto, but not in Brazil or in England. They've managed Falcao, but not in South America. So could it be Manzano? Could it be Marcelo Gallardo? Could it be Ferreira? Now, FM Console says he knows it now. Who are you going for? You figured it out, but you used Wiki, I believe. So, FM Console, can you tell us, has someone got it correct? Has someone got it correct already? We've got some good guesses in there with Manzano, Gallardo, Ferreira, and FM Console says Jesualdo Ferreira. And by saying Jesualdo Ferreira, that would confirm that Zerachol has once again picked up a point. How hard is it? That is probably the hardest round to get just a single point. Gesualdo Ferreira, one of the managers that has managed Braga, Benfica, Porto and Sporting. Managed Xavier Alçade, spent time at Malaga. An absolute legend of the game. I believe he spent time out at Santos as well, currently in South America. It is a deep cut. It is a difficult one. It is a difficult one for sure. Hungdamin doesn't even know who Gesualdo Ferreira is. The former Al Sadd manager, indeed. FM Console had Porto and Panathinaikos, indeed. Panathinaikos for Gilberto Silva, Porto for Radamel Falcao. He's been literally everywhere. I remember that Santos stint. It was a really, really tricky one. He spent a long time in Portugal. I think his spell at Braga was quite a few years. His spell at Porto was quite long. And I think pretty much everywhere else he lasted about 6 months. He just would bounce from club to club and fail and fail and fail and fail. But certainly one hell of a Rolodex of players that he's been in charge of. Now, welcome in to the lovely Llama. Before I say a proper welcome into Llama, I do need to sort out shouting out Brazilian Fury, because Brazilian Fury, oh no, I can't shout out Brazilian Fury. Thank you very much for the shout out to Llama, Crudmo. You're an absolute gentleman. Go follow Llama. After that, go follow Brazilian Fury as well. No, that's all good, Crudmo. If you get a chance to remember, there's like a little cooldown on there. So yeah, we can get that shout out across at some point. So Moreno Santos, that's exactly why I think your timing to pop on in and follow was perfect, because he'd spent time at Santos. I was like, yes, this is amazing. This is incredible, right? Look at that career history there. Look at that career history. He has been absolutely everywhere. Now, so to those that have popped in during the last 10 minutes or so, how is everyone doing? Mr. Tunafish, lovely to see you. How's your week so far? Mr. Llama, how are you doing as well? It is great to see you. Brazilian Fury, how did you find last night? It's absolutely fantastic having you take part in the league. And I don't know if you've heard any of the exciting stuff, but after you left the Discord, it all got quite funky. Right, so they're going to suggest we hold a team meeting. We should focus on recent good form, reinforce the positive feelings. So let's do it. Let's do it. We want to find something about form. We're going to say we're hitting form at exactly the right time, despite the fact we've only won one of our last 3 games, because that's what our assistant manager recommends. They love it. They absolutely love it. They are suckers, these players. So easy to please, apart from when we can't please them. So unfollow, don't unfollow Llama. Follow Llama, follow Brazilian Fury, follow everybody. They are wonderful. So Jules unfollowed both and followed Crudmo instead. You shouted out your Zico video by way of consolation. That is a fair shout. It's a great video from Brazilian Fury earlier on this week. Mind you, surprised Gilberto Silva was at Panathinaikos until 2010. I think Silva was only there for, was it a year and a half, 2 years? But yeah, it was a couple of years right around the 2010 point. Salama's doing great. Work finished for the week. Weekend starts now. Have you got anything excited planned for the weekend, Lama? So Fury has heard the shenanigans. Indeed, that's all I'm going to say is yes. You were just substituting for a week. I was just saying that you missed the drama, that's all. Well, if Crudmo ever creates anything, you're going to have millions of followers. Absolutely. We're all here for Crudmo, to be fair. What were the shenanigans last night? We'll leave it at that. We will leave it at that. That is that. So it's 3 years, 2008 to 2011. Beautiful stuff. Llama, 90s music trivia content. That would be good. That would be good. Llama, I was thinking like late last night about an FM podcast idea that I thought would be brilliant. I think that you, Llama, should host the Football Manager equivalent of Desert Island Discs. Because Desert Island Discs, right, that's the talk about music is just the platform to interview someone, right? So you can have a podcast about FM where you don't talk about FM whatsoever. And with your wonderful music knowledge, I think you'd be perfect for it. The problem is it would be exceptionally unfair for me to volunteer you for something you haven't asked for. Right, here we go, into the game. I think we've got the strongest team we can probably name is this, I think. Rod is still a few days away from being fit. Cantero is ass. Ardagula. Cole Palmer. Palmer's playing bad. Grinders was okay when he came on. Roche is still not having a great time, so we'll make that change there. Our defenders are doing okay. We're reverting back. We're reverting back to what we normally do. So attacking, but lower tempo. And then we can swap those things round if we possibly could. Crudmo, yes, would be on Llama Island discs any day. Everybody picks 5 FM Wonder Kids rather than songs. You could have stipulations as well. You can have like one player from the team you support, one player from the country you're from, one player who's got a rude word in their surname, one player that nobody's ever heard of. It'd be beautiful. Crudmo would go for Neil Lamptey with your first pick. Failed Wonder Kids would be wonderful. I mean, why just 5 players? Why not create a full 11? It could be the FM Dream 11. Right, we are going to say the assistant manager got it right before with the team talk. We will let him get it right with this team talk as well. Up against it, we've got Likari is the attacking player from the left. So Likari and Kari are going to face off against one another. That means no, I got that wrong. Likari's on the left, that's our right. Reinders and Likari are going to face off against one another. That means Kari has to pick up Odin Home. Benato will have to pick up Likari's partner, our former player, Eduardo Bove. Can we secure a double? DM Basis wants dibs on Cherno Samba and Maxim Sigalko. Can I have a Natalie Todorov? And Natalie Todorov was got to be one of my favourites. And then maybe the less appreciated Johan Absalonson. GNG wants Kim Kallstrom. Hungda Min wants Alex Collado. Ardagula wants to open the scoring, but he can't. Kasaragi gets down, turns it round the corner. Brazilian Furu, yes, you got yesterday's 4-hour stream down to about 38 minutes of edited footage. So yeah, that video it might happen early next week. That'll be marvellous. That'll be marvellous. So RJ Crudmo is a shout-out machine. Look at that work. Thank you very much, Crudmo. Grizzly P, I'd have to shout out Supat Rungratsami. Of course. What an FM legend he is. Console, mentioning Sherman Cardenas. Nicholas Milan was the same FM as well, wasn't he? Some absolute gems back then. Hung Dam In, your country has no FM Wonder Kids shortly, but you can still have favourite Vietnamese players, I would assume. Right, Kasaragi out to DeMarco. DeMarco already on a yellow card, feats Belkaher and Anita Hammer. Oh my word. It's a big match. We're down to 10 men so early. Donna Kebab is coming on. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We've had a bit of a rotten time tonight, haven't we? Well, Mosconi's the one on a yellow card, so he's going to come off. And I suppose that means we split Bernardo out wide. And then we have you here. Let's make sure you're marking inside. As so. Yeah. Oh, that is bad from Anita Hammer. He absolutely hammered him, disappointingly. So Brazilian, you have to think deeply on the other 4, but you're taking FM24 Lorenzo Luca with your first overall pick. You can't knock that. Crudmo's going for Bojan. I wonder who was the best Belgian wonder kid in FMs. I mean, there's been so many of them, to be fair. Anthony van den Boer comes up high on my list for sure. I mean, partly because everyone knows that Vincent Kompany went on to have a great career. Eden Hazard went on to have a great career. Van den Boer had a decent career, don't knock it, but never quite reached the hype. Hung Dam In likes FM22 Vitinha, the striker, a fine choice there. A console saying yes, the Chilean Ronaldo for Nicolas Milan. A shout out for the Mexican duo of Carlos Fierro and Eric Torres. They're a fine shout as well. Right, DeMarco with the corner. Monterisi gets there. Isaac just has to get it clear. That's understandable. And Bonato gathers. Bonato nutmegs DeMarco, but can't get there to the second ball. Now Lucari feeds Belka here. Doner Kebab gets it away as nearly as far as Colwell. Lucari now into Belka here. Belka here over the top. Benetto looked offside to me, but it's not going to lift the flag because Theo got his header there. Now Edward Bove sends it in. Bradley, Lucari. And it's 1-0. It's 1-0. It's all falling apart. Thank God we got the Super Copper earlier on in the season, because we are looking to end this season empty-handed, sadly. MTG, everything which can go wrong has gone wrong. It all started with Noah Atabolo dropping across in the 3rd minute of our first league game of tonight's stream as we went 1-0 down against Juventus. It's gonna be tough from here, that's for sure. We'll see how we do. Maybe it just takes one chance. It's a cup final. It's a singular game. Although not if we don't defend particularly well. Cunha plays Benetto to make it 2. It's a lovely dinked finish. You can't complain about that. We're gonna have to shout at them. And the problem there, Doner Kebab is a supporting fullback, was caught high. He's not meant to run up the pitch. That created space for Belka here. In it comes. Benetto attacks the space as Monterisi steps up onto Cunha. Theo doesn't track. And that's 2-0. We are falling apart, Hungermin. We are falling apart. It's understandable, though, to be fair. We're down to 10 men. Our system doesn't work well with 10 men, sadly. We do need we do need those bodies doing their marking jobs in the midfield, which we lose with the false 9. We're going to be 3-0 down at halftime. Bove to DeMarco. DeMarco to make it 3. I was hoping we could regroup at halftime. But the game is over. The game is absolutely beyond us. We are having a rotten time of it, but we have one trophy. We should be in a position to secure second. Hopefully, Fiorentina can't steal that away from us on the last day. Good news there in FM23. There's a Vietnamese player, Nguyen Quang Hai, the Vietnamese Messi. There's one really deep cut Wondercood that is a -10 and disappeared. We've got a suggestion for Curlon, a suggestion for Adu, perhaps. Welcome in, Martin. Going Martin, thank you very much for the follow. RJ's going to suggest Vanden Boer, company's best friend. He was crazy good, but less brain cells than Cole Palmer. Bless him. FM22 Per Shores as a shout out. Grizzly P says, remember the time Connor Wickham was universally considered better than Harry Kane? That was true. That was true indeed. Shocking, but there's no success without failure. Exactly, great Antoine. Do we try for the second half? We most definitely do. Thank you very much for the follow, DJR. Welcome in. How are you doing? Lovely to see you in. Who do you follow? Who do you support? Same question to Martine as well. So who do you support? Who are you playing with in FM? No obligation to chat if you don't want to. Right. Isaac needs to come back and mark the defensive midfielder. Bove. We need to make changes. We are so sorely missing our options. We've got Hisuki is meant to be a backup. Kebab is a backup. Theo Hernandez, I'm surprised has got a good rating because he didn't track the run of Benetto as he tucked inside for the second goal. So we're going to bring on Navarro. No, we're going to bring off Hisuki. We're going to put Hernandez at centre back. We are going to push you forwards. He is on mark specific position. That's fine. We're going to have to let you run a little bit free. So Arda Gula, let's get him to stay wider. Create that space a little bit more. And Gula's looking tired. Let's bring on Cole Palmer and his one brain cell as well. So let's. I don't need to say anything to them. If we can get a goal, that would at least be nice. So Martin, your goalkeeper just put a ball into his own net after a shot from the halfway line into the sky. It's going great. Oh dear, that is rotten. So Hungdaman, in Vietnam, we have a lot of messy sort of players. We're 4-0 down. We are 4-0 down. Fabulous stuff. When we lose bad. We were destroyed 6-0 because our system is not particularly good at coming from behind, especially if we need to chase the game. But let's see, what can we do? We don't change. We don't embrace the things that we know are majorly effective. So let's stop playing out of defense. Let's stop counter-attacking with no players. Let's maybe see if we can just a small slither of pride. So DJ, if you follow Bizarre, he recommends you. Oh, bless Bizarre. Bizarre is wonderful, a lovely, absolute gentleman of a creator. Do you also listen into the Something About Soccer podcast? Because I'm a big fan of that as well. Oh, Umvar, welcome in. Welcome in. Lovely to see. How are you not bored with FM24 yet? Share your secrets. It's football. I get to play a football management game. Each edition is just a slightly updated database, some more features, but at the core of it, I want to play a game. Oh, come on. That's an own goal. Okay, that might explain it. That might explain why that got conceded, because that didn't look like a particularly difficult shot to save. But if it took a big deflection, it took a massive deflection. That's fair enough. I won't blame Atabolo for that. We are going to shout at the players once again. Hope it's therapeutic. Yeah, I get to manage players. I get to buy players. Get to do some tactics. We get to lose 5-0. Once you get far into a save, it doesn't really matter if the database is up to date. Are we going to? Oh no! Don't make it. Oh, okay. I'm hurting now. Here goes 6-0. Here we're surely coming. Karabali back to Collins or not? Can we hound them? Can we hound them and get something out? Doner Kebab tries to get it clear. He can't. It's back to Antonio. Karabali into Bove. Izuk's coming back, doing some defending. Bove's in behind. It's not 6-0. Can we celebrate? We haven't celebrated for a while. Boom. We will celebrate into missing chances. This is a PSG versus Real match. Indeed it is. Johnson, you did join back at a bad time. That's all good. So you've got a French striker about 2005 to 2007 disappeared. You've forgotten his name. Now, Cromwell's going to suggest Benzema. We need to watch in to lift the trophy. We need to go through the pain. We were appalling. We were disgraceful. Anita Hammer may not get to play for us again. That was despicable behaviour. Rudy Kalia. I don't remember. I do remember Issa Eliakwu. A quality player. So Martin, you're currently doing a save in the Ukrainian league. You're also a Doncaster fan. Fabulous. Who have you taken over in Ukraine? I think the game is decided. I think MTG. I really do. Bless. So Elliot, hey, with the Moneyball skin, my computer can't handle loading the leagues in full detail. That's okay. Maybe you won't be able to play the Moneyball approach, or you certainly won't be able to compare the players accurately to your own. But if your computer can't handle it, don't try and force something if it's not going to work. That's like absolutely fine. So Gergo, welcome in, by the way. Paolo Bonato is a midfielder. He comes out as a defender all the time. He's an attacking midfielder for us. He's also, let's have a look. Where is Paolo Bonato there? He is a midfielder left, attacking midfielder, striker. Very much, he's been very good for us. 11 goals, 4 assists. He's not the greatest player, but he's been doing some pretty good stuff for us. Been off the boil tonight. Hasn't really done anything for us this evening. And we've lost Nuama. So it does feel like we go through real undulations where it's not just like form goes up and down depending on the stream, but certain players seem to have very good streams. They'll have a stream where they score 6 goals in 4 games, and then they won't score in the next session or the session after that. And this seems to be quite a poor one for everyone, to be fair. That is another big big defeat. He's been disciplined in accordance with the code of conduct, which means I assume I can't discipline him any further. So I'm just going to criticize him. Yeah, you need to concentrate on your thing. And I'm going to threaten you. I'm going to escalate. You're transfer listed. Deal with it, Anita Hammer. That's what you get. That's what you get for putting us on the back foot. That is a horrible, rotten result. Ah, well. So, we've got 2 games left. Are we at risk of losing second place? We've got a 5-point gap to Fiorentina. We need to beat Bari. We need to beat Bari because our last game of the season away against Fiorentina. Anita Hammer isn't suspended for the league. Is that suspension only? Does that suspension only matter in thingy what's? Okay, that's quite handy because we are struggling a little bit for depth. I'll discuss it with you. You don't want to. Why have you put me on the transfer? We just had a. If you if you want to get rid of me, then say it to my face. We literally had a conversation 1 button press ago. None of those comments, though, are even remotely appropriate. So we're going to say the thing there. I'm going to back down. I'm going to back down. I'm going to unlist him. He's unlisted as a result of backing down. Oh, why isn't there we just had a conversation where you cost us a cup final and you reacted badly, so I want to punish you for it. That needs to be an option there. So Elliot, would it still work data-wise with limited leagues in full detail? So you want to focus on, if you say, would it still work? I don't know the capacity of your PC. So I can't tell you. But yes, if you want to compare your players, if you want to compare players you want to sign to the players in your squad, then they need to be playing in leagues at full detail. Now, if that means only focusing on a small handful of leagues, that's absolutely the way to do it. We only load up a small handful of leagues here. So we've got we've got quite a few. This is probably more than I would normally load, to be honest. But we only load a relative handful there, as opposed to trying to load everything all at once. And Moody Kalia still plays. There we go. There we go. Just immediately break his contract. So Martin, it's a team called Rook Lviv. A great youth system from the get-go. Nice. Fabulous stuff. Lilia Cities play goals. Welcome in. Thank you very much for the follow. And to you as well, Svart Gould. Lovely to see you. If you guys are comfortable chatting, would love to know who you support or who you're playing with in FM, but absolutely no obligation to chat whatsoever. Feel free to lurk. So George, go. He's a monster defender in your save. Fair enough. I didn't realise that. Is Paolo Bonato then? We can have a look here. Let's see if Paolo Bonato is a name in the game potentially. We've got, so they're not part of the development. Are they a part of the additional contributions there? They're not. Part of Creative Assembly? They're not. Baldini, they're not there either. Are they part of Sega? They're not. So it could be the research team potentially. Do we have maybe an Italian researcher called Paolo Bonato? There isn't one that's listed there. Maybe they do something else. Who knows? Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. So Martin, you signed Jesse Rodriguez, the Real Madrid forward, wonder kid in Ukraine. He must be doing well. I expect he is doing very, very well for you, surely. So Console, you've sent him in Discord. Fabulous. I'll take a look in a while. You haven't found him anywhere. Apparently, they says that he retired in 2015. Fair enough. Fair enough. And apparently he's retired on Transfer Market in 2018. There we go. He's still listed as a player, probably a staff player, like they do a lot of lower leagues. I suppose when you don't necessarily follow it, it's that way. Cool. Rudy, a message for you, Rudy. Indeed. He is there, part of the research team. He should be there somewhere. Fabulous. There we go. Right, okay. We have a break coming up, and then we head into the final game against Bari. Now, for those that are new around here, I do take the ad breaks. It gives me a chance to vape, a chance to pee, a chance to stand up as well, because it's not healthy sitting staring at a screen for hours on end. So I'm going to pop on over. We'll see you guys in about 3 minutes. I'll catch you then. And we're back. Welcome back. So Jesse Rodriguez, it wasn't Jesse Rodriguez, so was it? It's Jesse, why can't I remember the name? No, he is Jesse Rodriguez. Beautiful. He isn't doing well. Missed a penalty in his second game, still hasn't scored in about 8 games. That's shocking. That's shocking. Hung him in. If Anita Hammer plays in Vietnam, a fan would go and slash him after the intermatch. Well, whilst we're on the break, I did move it forwards. I think a fan did go and, rather than slash his tyres, they slashed him. Because he's now out with pulled knee ligaments. After all that nonsense, he's now out for the rest of the season as well. It's a console. You were looking for players before who had least appearances, but in the database found a lad who was 39 and had played 2 games. That is quite a long career for so little. Yeah, he's like a mascot, exactly. So yeah, Bojack, I popped a thing in the chat there. This isn't a publicly available skin. It's just some ideas that I play around with. Okay, never mind. This French wiki was bad. Apparently, Carlier played for Schlittigheim in 2016 and Biesheim in 2017 for a total of 0 games. Fair enough. Fair enough. So MTG, maybe multiple teams. Maybe he's just spent his whole career being Jordan Henderson in the England squad of recent times. He's there for morale. He's a Scott Carson. But rather than having the good early part of the career, we're up against the, oh no. Oh, I'm getting bad feelings here. I'm getting very bad feelings here. My nemesis plays for Bari. It is Pietro Rolando. Pietro Rolando. It is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons since he ruined our invincible season, and I will never forgive Pietro Rolando. 6 goals so far this season. He's not been scoring much, but we know how this might end up dropping by. As a console, you think you might do a video on the 11 with the least games in their career? That'd be interesting. So Bojack, you've been playing this game more than 25 years. Never knew that Musterman is streaming on Twitch. Well, welcome in. Thought someone else using his name as a homage. Well, I'm using the name as a homage to Oliver Kahn, but only been streaming now for just over 6 months or so. So you'll be able to tell. Not very professional by any stretch of the imagination. We need to tell them that they need to improve. We need good performances from every single one of you. Matching up. Dezotti is on the left, so Rocha needs to grab Dezotti. He is beautiful. Reinders needs to pick up Menegazo. And Kerim needs to pick up the defensive midfielder. That's João Teixeira. We're attacking. Let's do this. We just need one win to guarantee us second spot. A draw might be okay. I mean, if we beat Fiorentina on the last day, we're absolutely fine. But there's no guarantees we're going to beat Fiorentina on the final day of the season. So early chances, we've had a couple of. Here's a corner now. Arda Güler will take. He swings it in. Monterisi is the target. He can't get there. Reinders gathers the edge of the box. Reinders into Bjorn Rod, back from injury, feeds Skamaka. Skamaka takes it first time. It's a good block. Another corner. So RJ, we are losing the fucking league. We have lost the fucking league for sure, RJ, sadly. Bjorn Rod is the target. Can't get there. Arda Güler now. What can he muster up? Nothing. Cut out. D'Emilio's gone down. Monterisi picks up a yellow card. That wasn't a yellow card, ref. Come off it. Reinders from the free kick. Back to Donna Kebab. Right, Akterkoglu to Monterisi. Navarro to Güler. Güler shapes, and there's the goal.
Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when we score goals. Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when we score goals. Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when we score goals. Turning Milanese got me turning Milanese when we score goals.
So Bojack, we've been talking about FM Wonder Kids. I think you've been around for that. Who has been your favourite player to manage in all the 25 years? And Skamaka in behind. I thought he'd scored. He puts it wide, well placed. Blah, bless him. So Grizzly P, come on Zizou. Don't let Zlatko Zajovic outperform you. I mean, how is the Blackburn save going, Grizzly? How's it going? Then again, you really like Zlatko Zajovic. He was quite a player back then as well. Benny, we're going to win the... Sadly, no, we're not. You broke your no Ballon d'Or winner rule. I mean, you've got it. Orlando's stalking you for real. I can see him popping up in the 93rd minute with the equaliser for sure. Welcome in, Medical Car. How you doing, my dude? How you doing? Lovely to see you. It's Skamaka! Is it 9? It's 9 months indeed. Oh, God, bloody hell, it's July, isn't it? Yeah, it's 7. It's probably a little bit longer than that, actually. It's been 10 months. Because obviously the first few, like the first month of streaming as well, couldn't have had to get those stats and things. Right, we're 2-0 up. We're playing well. We're creating chances. We're scoring them. Can't complain with that so far. But we can do better. We can step it up even further. We will say exactly that to the players. We need the third goal. Let's kill it off before there's a chance for Bari to come back. They're not changing formation, which is good. The baby is due, indeed. The Muster Stream baby. So Bojack, you think Totti, as he was doing lots of Roma saves back then for 98, 99 and afterwards. I know what you mean, my dude. I know what you mean. Right, no highlights, 20 minutes into the second half. We are going to take off the booked player. We are going to bring on... Let's get Benato back out there for a little bit. Let's get Cajusta out there for a bit as well. Keep them nice and fresh. And yeah, just see out the win, hopefully. What was that sentence he just said? I'm English and I didn't understand a word. I don't know either. I have no idea whatsoever. So Bojack, also Montella. And check this, you was an Inter fan, still am, but I remember those saves with Roma better than those with my team. I mean, that's fair. Like I often talk about probably my favourite save is going to be, as a Villa fan, my favourite save is with Werder Bremen back in FM08 with Diego, with like Borowski and all those players. I've got such fond memories of that save over any Villa save I've done. Without it, actually, there's at least one Champs 0304 Villa save that I really like. Oh, keeper went for it, but it ran. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Matt Mosconi misses. I don't think I've ever seen in FM a cross come in, the goalkeeper completely miss it, but also it reached no other player in the box. That was quite cool. That was nice to see. Right, we are second. We have finished second. That's a good result. A good home win to end this. Well, to end the season. We've got one more game against Fiorentina coming up. Inter Milan win 3-0 away against 19th place Cagliari. It was never in doubt. So a big win to end the season, indeed, and hopefully we can get one away from home against Fiorentina as well if we're lucky. Close that gap down. Maybe Inter won't try so hard, and it will look better in the record books. We only finish a few points behind if we're fortunate. Or what is more likely, which is that we lose away from home because we have been pretty poor away from home tonight, and we finish like 7 points behind. So Blue had to go mid only connect. What was the link? It was Gesualdo Ferreira. Indeed it was. So DM basis, Gustavo Bartelt. Although I think he was a Premier Manager 98 failed win. I definitely remember Bartelt being good in one of the champ managers. I'm thinking maybe 96, 97, but there is a throwback. I don't think I have thought about Gustavo Bartelt in many a year. FM Console has found a Keith. He has a missing history of 15 years. Left Stoke and played 2 games at Gresley 15 years later. Is that Gresley Celtic? I feel like it's Gresley Celtic is the full name of the team, but I might be making that up. So hung them in, all players who work for a manager who manage Al Sadd. So he doesn't manage Al Sadd right now. He managed Al Sadd back when Xavi was playing there. So we had, he's managed Benfica, Porto, Sporting, and Braga. He's managed Santos. He managed Al Sadd as well back in the Xavi era. It was a difficult one. I make no bones about that. So what on earth was the sentence that I said that you guys didn't understand? I'm so far behind that I have no idea even what that sentence could be that you were referencing, I'm afraid. So Grizzly, regarding your Blackburn save, you're halfway through season 2, sitting at second, tied with Liverpool. Sold Shearer to Madrid because he wouldn't re-sign. So that is averaging only 6.5. That's I can understand why you're frustrated with Zizou now, for sure. Right, we have a little mini game redeemed. So shall we head on over? And I am going to... this is a mini game 100%. 100% for Crudmo. We are trying to help him close the gap on Zeratul. And you might call fix on that basis. For me, how dare I pick a mini game that might favour a singular player. But we'll see. Because we're going to play a round of word games. A round of word games. So there are going to be, coming up in a moment, you're going to get 5 clues to answers that you need to pop in chat. There are 3 player smashes. Player smash is where you get 2 clues, and those clues give you the surnames of 2 footballers. So, for example, we might have the player that scored a hat-trick in last season's Europa League final, and the answer would be Ademola Lookman. And you might get a clue which would be Ajax's signing that was sent to Cardiff, and you get Sivert Manswerk. Now, Lookman ends MAN and Manswerk starts MAN, so the answer would be Lookmanswerk. And then we'll also have a couple of clues on there which are just anagrams, straightforward, jumbled up names. So you do need to spell the answers correctly. If a player's name has an accent in it, like a grave E, you can include it, you can't include it. And we'll see how it goes from there. So I will reveal today's clues. And we have a Ballon d'Or nominee destroyed by his former club last night, and the greatest of all time, brackets, including friendlies. We've got an anagram of dial or muck. We've got a player smash of a wonderkid centre-back in FM24 and a former Fulham defender who now plays for Fulham. And Mbappé, we have got Mbappé, Mr. Grizzly P gets in there. Beautiful stuff. Beating DM bassist, Coratiba, Medical Car, and Bojack close to getting Bojack there. Just to the punch there. It is indeed Mbappé and Pelé becomes Mbappé. So we also have an anagram, which is railroad pen. And then the final player smash is really likes elbowing staff and stealing their glasses. And you don't win anything with quids. And DM Basis has indeed picked up that it is Matthias Cunha and Alan Hansen, which gives us Kunhansen. Kunhansen. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. So we've got two anagrams left, and we've got one more player smash in there. So Blue Lions gets it now. That's fair. Yeah, so it's smashing names together. It's a little bit like FM Llama's alternative combo festival that he was putting together the other day. And so can we work out who the wonderkid centre-back in FM24 could be, or the former Fulham defender who now plays for Fulham? By the way, the fact this game takes longer to explain than to play speaks volumes. I mean, it's taking a fair time. And Blue Lions has correctly picked up that railroad pen is Andrea Pirlo, which is beautiful. So DM Basis thinks he knows the defender, but can't think of the centre-back. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't. It's not a single syllable connection, I can tell you that. As Moreno Santos correctly identifies Luka Modric from the other anagram. Sensational work, sir. Sensational. And Blue Lions a little bit slow in with just beaten to it with Joric there. So we've got a guess for Yoro Tete. Unfortunately, Lenny Yoro and Tete don't blend across some same letters. Blue Lions thinks it might be some connection with Tosin Adarabayo, which I can tell you it is not. It is not Tete. It is not Tosin Adarabayo. Console just wanted to be part. That's fair enough. That is fair enough. So it's smashing time, said Grizzly P. It is indeed. It is. Crudmo realised when I said, "Oh fuck off, this is thing." Can we work out? We've got Hung De Min. Hung De Min has gone for Koppel Anderson, which is very close. Very, very close. We've got Adia Mandalap which is also very close. We got a Luke Anderson, but Zerachol sweeps in. He puts together Hungdamin's answer. He puts it with Blue Lion's answer and gets Usman Diamande and Joachim Anderson for Diamanderson, just beating Grizzly P to the punch. That is, Diamande says, I was way off. Diamanderson you had, says FM Console. Das. Just beaten. They are hard. They are hard. And you thought it was Sessignon. Oh, that could have been interesting. That would have made the first part very difficult indeed. Quadmo thought it was Tete. Fulham are doing a very good job of playing signing players they've had before, because Joachim Anderson they had on loan from Lyon. Then he joined Crystal Palace before signing permanently, eventually, for Fulham last season. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Right, let's head back on over to the game. We've got our final game of the season coming up away against Fiorentina. Dean Baser said that I was talking about the couple of streams at the start before you were able to sub, but you just kind of trailed off mid-words. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I probably did. I was just saying that, there's like an extra month of when I could stream before like people could sub and everything like that. I think that's all I said. Maybe because I ran out of things to say, I just then went blah, 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 blah. So LNE 150, by the way, I do apologise. Your timing was very unfortunate there. So if you're still about, you have a quick question. You want to sign in Mega, but he doesn't show up. And when you went to the squad of Strasbourg, there were no players except for 2 Chelsea loans. Do you know why? So LNE, the players that appear depend on how you set up the game at the start. Now, Emmanuel Omega at the start will be in Austria, I think. I can't remember which club he's at in Austria, but I'm pretty certain he starts the game in Austria with the default database. So it will all be down to how you set the game up at the start. If you don't have him in there, you might then need to load the games up later on, load the save up, load the leagues up. So you can remove leagues. We've already got Austria, but let's say you wanted a player that was currently playing in Gibraltar. You could add that league. You'd have to wait until the new season starts, but that will then start to load in the players accordingly. Shall we take a look at the Club World Cup draw? We have. Let's see who we get. We are not a pot 1 team, which is no surprise there, to be fair. How do the pots work? Why are there so many pots? That seems very confusing. As a damn basis, you think he was going to be the big Batistuta replacement, Bartelt that is. Then he got done for faking his passport. I did not know that. That is quite funny. Koatiba was thinking Sessignon as well. RJ's off to bed. Thank you so much for dropping by, RJ. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, my dude. Sessignon might be a left back, but he's not a defender. That's also quite fair. So console, I'll pay for another game if you have one. We try to make sure that it's deliberately there should still be a redeem on there. We will probably play a round of bingo before the stream ends, but there's deliberately a time break in there between all the games just to make sure that we maintain a little bit of a flow. So we'll hold the break until a little bit later, I'm afraid. Right, we're in the Club World Cup. We are indeed. So I'm guessing that they were successful before we arrived to get that. How does pot work? Oh, I haven't got the time to explain to you. You have plenty of time, Crobbo. How does pot work? Please do tell me. This does seem very, very confusing, but we'll see what comes out of it. Not that I've actually looked at the screen at any point. I've been purely looking at chat, so I have no idea who's been drawn in what groups at any point whatsoever. Let's hammer Flamengo. I'm not surprised to hear you say that, Moreno. That's a console. I know, but I'll pay for the next one. I'm saving drinks on me. Fair enough. Right, Mamelodi Sundowns against Boca Juniors. We've got a group with Paris Saint-Germain. They're going to draw from a pot that doesn't exist. What are all these pots? This is so confusing. Pyramids are in with Man City and Columbus Crew. Al Hilal are probably going to be in this pot with Flamengo and CS Sfax. They are. Shocker. Nobody's going to be in the group with Al Wada and Deportivo Guadalajara, but apparently that nobody is going to be Arsenal. I think we've just called Arsenal nobody. We've got Galatasaray, Botafogo and Al Ittihad. We've got Al Ahly, Fluminense and Inter Milan. Don't underestimate Flamengo. Certainly wouldn't. Hikari United, Santos Laguna, and River Plate. River Plate against Santos Laguna should be a good matchup. Mamelodi Sundown, Boca Juniors, Club America. So we are in whatever pot that puts us at the end. Are we going to draw against Paris Saint-Germain? No, that's Benfica. I feel like we've dodged a bullet there for sure. Draw pot. Got any blow, lads? And it does seem that way. Does seem memories of youth. Exactly. Flamengo, Sfax, Al Hilal, and Bayern Munich. We're not in that group. We have avoided Flamengo. Are we going to face Al Wada, Guadalajara, Arsenal? We're not. That's going to be Porto. Could we get Galatasaray, Botafogo, and Al Ittihad? Would be a very nice group, but that's sadly gone the way of Real Madrid. If we get Inter, that would be crazy. We don't. So Al Ahly, Fluminense, Blumineri, and Monaco, Hikari United, Santos Laguna, River Plate, AC Milan. I don't think we've done too badly with the draws there. The penultimate team to be drawn. I still have no idea how the groupings worked exactly, but I don't mind that. I know very little about Papua New Guinea's Hikari United, but they do have a real manager. They do have some players in the database, which should be quite cool. So that'll be interesting. Santos Laguna, they have Ricardo Echeverria. Do they have any players that I recognise? They do have Nathan Nagumu. Nagumu has ended up out in Mexico. That's quite interesting. Don't recognise any of the others there. And then River Plate, currently managed by Martin Demichelis. And they have Facundo Colidio. So he's now 33 years old. He was doesn't he start the game at Inter? He does indeed. Does indeed start the game at, well, he's no, he doesn't. He'd left Inter by the point the game starts. My bad. So he's been at River Plate all the way through. Villagra's still there. Facundo Medina's still playing as well. So there's a couple of players that have persisted through whilst that there. So Milan have been handed an easy group, they say. An easy group. We will find a way, I'm sure, to mess it up. We will meet River Plate. Yeah, it's a good group. Why are there pots with one team and then a non-existent pot with most European teams? I'm confused. Exactly, Kryptonic. I am so confused by every part of that draw. Why are there 10 pots? Some of them have just one team. It just seems so confusing. So confusing. Quadmo for non-existent pot. It's been a quite drug heavy stream. People guessing Colombian drug dealers for connections earlier on. So it does mean we don't get much rest over the summer. Now, but we do. It's weird that the season has ended badly. I don't think we need to make big changes. We've got 4 youngsters arriving, 2 young strikers, a young winger, a young defensive midfielder. We probably want a proper striker up front. Skamaka and Isaac have done a pretty decent job, but we probably want someone to be a proper striker up front. We probably want to, well, we need, actually, let's have a look there. So Ahanach comes in to compete with Nuama. Ars comes in for defensive midfield. He's in the rotation. Probably sees Reinders leaving. Rafalskis can perhaps be an option up front, but I don't think he's necessarily going to play much. Bua's probably going to go out on loan immediately. So Palmer and Agula, they fight for one another. That's fine. Backup for Bonato, a proper striker. Kajuste's been fine. Rocha's been fine. Kari's been fine. We've got that covered. We probably want a right back as well. So we might only need like 3 players over the summer, I think, potentially. Or 3 additional players over the summer. So having a competition in the middle of it shouldn't be too much of a concern. So there we go. 10 pots is a lot for the summer indeed. That's just one day. Just one day, right, Kryptonic? Blue Lions, the best tournament. We'll see if you're still saying that after the weekend, Blue Lions. It's going to be, if PSG carry on playing like PSG have been playing recently, it might suddenly become the worst tournament. I mean, the way they destroyed Real Madrid is quite almost sickening, but also quite wonderful at the same time. Juventus are playing their last game of the season. That's controversial, surely. Why on earth are they playing their game on a Saturday? They're in a battle for third. Fiorentina now know they do need at least a draw to secure third. I mean, they're safe in the top four, so it's probably not a major concern. I do expect they'll probably do quite well. They should do quite well given our away form, but maybe this is a chance to bring a couple of our fringe players in, potentially. Look at that. Look at what we've achieved, guys. That is beautiful. We have the second lowest wages to turnover ratio. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Where is our finances screen? It's down here. We arrived around here spending I think it's this one here. Well, it's this summer anyway. So at the beginning of that summer, they're spending €6 million a week on wages. We are now down to 3.5 million. We are working towards sustainability, and yet we've still also spent a crazy amount of money on players. So Bocca's picked up an injury. We'll keep him off out of the running there. So yeah, a send off for Theo Hernandez. This is going to be. Is it his last game? Sorry, let's see. No, his last game is going to be in the thingy what's it, so we don't need to play him there. Do we have some reserve players we want to bring in? We want to consider. I would have. He's on under 20s duty. That's typical. We would have considered him there. Let's bring in Sanato as the false nine. Let's put Savenko on the bench. We signed him the other day. Pirelli can come on the bench. Can we bring any of the under 18s in? We can't, unfortunately. So let's see about giving Cervenka a start. Let's give Kajuste a game. Isaac still got another season on his contract, so we don't worry about that. Cantera's a bit shit. Yeah, let's bring Sonato in, Cervenka. A couple of changes in there. 2 players, we'll just auto number that. 33 and 32, obviously. Blue Lions, I think you mean if Chelsea keep playing the way Chelsea have been playing, then I'll be saying the exact same thing. Quite possibly. A console, are you Tottenham in disguise? We had to get things under control. We had to get things under control. We are financially responsible. Get that on the money ball, exactly. Jim Ratcliffe is jealous. But that has allowed us to sign Arda Güler. We can go a little bit bigger. Even still, we spent like 80 million euros on Arda Güler. Maybe we crossed the 100 million Rubicon to get that final piece up front. As long as they want under 400, probably under 350,000 euros a week would be ideal for star player. We'll go with that, but we'll say I need you to play well. Let's get these guys marked up. No clear more attacking player, but I'm going to go, from what I know about Guillamon, he tends to be more a defense player, so Bianco we're going to consider to be. Actually, no, that's fine. We've got it set up. We'll have the defensive midfielder focus on Guillamon there. We're going to ball winner Kajuste, but also, can you not ask the ball winner to get further forwards? I didn't know that. We're going to defense midfielder him and ask him to get further forwards. So the last game of the domestic season, Matias Almeida's Feyenoord against Mika Aratalo in his all-white suit, black shirt, black shoes. Let's end the season on a high. So Grizzly P, you forgot to say that you signed Michel Salgado 15 years before it happened in real life. You signed Michel Salgado when he should have been signed, rather than when it was far, far too gone. So Console saw an interesting video today. We'll send it over later, but the concept is Moneyball. Are strikers the new running backs? Indeed, I've watched that. Are they overvalued? I've watched it. I disagree very, very strongly. But it is a very good video. It is a fantastic video. Right, we've had a few chances. We haven't created good chances, though. Fiorentina have had just one shot, but they're sending it in. Brian's the target. It gets it headed away. Parisi, you've got to clear that now. We only clear it as far as Bianco. Goes back to Carboni, into Hugo. Guzman now. Plenty of time on the ball. Spreads out wide. Ardo makes a challenge, but Coyote comes away with it. Nico Gonzalez tries to curl it into the far post beyond the despairing arms of Atabolo. We've only had one shot. They've only had one shot. 60% possession, absolutely zero penetration, however. So we will be upping that tempo for sure. Right, I'm gonna say some nice stuff to them. I'm going to say some nice things. We're going to increase. We're going to be more expressive. Drop that mentality. We're going to play a little bit wider as well. Let's try and spread the play. No particular impact from those couple of young players that have come in. It is a tough situation being thrust into the spotlight. Arda Gula, though, tries to find Rocha on the end of the area. Gets it back to Rocha. Rocha, it bounces around. Bjorn Rod's shot is blocked. Cajuste couldn't turn it goalwards. Fiorentina clear. That's a nice start to the second half. Can we do a little bit more? We can't. In fact, Fiorentina are starting to turn the screw now, so we're going to demand more. But there's a highlight, so we're going to regret demanding more. As the cross comes in, Marzucci gathers it ahead of Scamacca. Marzucci now. Surely got to send it long with Scamacca lingering. He does. He sends it out to the right wing. Cervenka wins the header. Sonato's taken a knock. He's going to feed Scamacca. Scamacca's going to fire in, but Scamacca looked to be a good yard or two offside there. A Spice Boy Mika. So you have to agree, but you didn't want to ruin it with your opinion if you hadn't. That's fair. That is fair. And that goal stood. I am shocked.
Goals for the fans, it's because AC Milan will come on. Let's go mental in the stands. Goals for the fans, it's because AC Milan will come on. Let's go mental in the stands.
Beautiful stuff. Sinato is going to come off, though, because of his knock. Are we going to give Perilli some game time? We are going to give Perilli some game time. He's going to replace Cajuste. I think he's going to replace Cajuste. And that will be a nice little opportunity for him. We have faith in these guys. 60% possession, 0 penetration. I have seen your Tinder bio, G&G. Oh, that is glorious. Molinari now with the free kick. Never quite managed to get the curl on it, and that goes harmlessly wide. Momentum, I do think, has been in the favour of Fiorentina in the second half, though. It has. Let's say be more expressive off. We can keep the tempo higher, but let's control. It's Colombo with the equaliser. That was nicely fired across Atabulu. The flag has stayed down. I think this goal stands. It's a nice equaliser, and that could get Fiorentina. It's disallowed. Oh, no complaints there. Colombo had gone just a little bit too early. He managed to run on the blind side, but stepped forwards just a few seconds before. So Console says, if there was an abundance of reliable strikers like the 90s, maybe there's an argument, but nowadays they are a rare commodity. Exactly. Right, Cervenka's debut is going to come to an end. We're bringing on Mosconi. Carl Palmer's going to replace the underwhelming Arda Gula. Are we going to drop the tempo down even further? I think we are. We're going to look to see out, hopefully, the last few moments, because we haven't reined them in. And there is another highlight. Here's the cross. Atabulu claims it majestically at the far post. But is he going to do something stupid now? There is a very good chance he does. He plays it short to Bjorn Rod. Under a lot of pressure, he plays it forward to Palmer. Palmer back to Atabulu. Atabulu back to Rod, like the unmarked players on this side. Well done. That's... we take our time over it, and we've got Fiorentina now with the ball. Coyote. Coyote's driving forwards. Perilli gets the challenge in. Can't quite get to the loose ball though. Coyote back to Volpez. Volpez to the far post. Brian with his header onto the bar. Right, our last change is going to see Theo come on. We're going to take play out of defence off because we are under a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. And never in doubt, says DM Bassist. For sure. You'll never not mark out for the Klaxon song. It's a quality song, isn't it? So dear Maces, don't know if it was you or someone else in the chat that mentioned the ice pack in front of the fan trick, but that is saving my life these last few days. Isn't it a great trick? I mean, the ice is a brilliant one because it stays cold for a long time. But if you don't have ice available, just a wet flannel, freshly cold water from the tap that you might need to change every hour or so, but that dangled in front of a fan can be just as effective. You get this lovely cool mist, but you do need to keep on wetting that flannel, making sure that it's staying cold. We've robbed Fiorentina there. That relegates them to 4th place on the final day of the season. For a long time they were top of the league. Inter win as expected against Udinese. They maintain a 4-point gap. No complaints there. We weren't quite good enough. We go again next season in the hope that we can finally win a league again. Right, let's get these guys all just a single day's rest. We'll clear that lineup. And we've got 25 days until the game against Hikaru. I don't know what happens for our training calendar. Do we get to train? Potentially we get a week, so we put that on 0, then we go on a break, and then we come back. I suppose we'll find out, right? We'll find out, and we'll see how it goes from there. So hooray, a win, an away win, incredible stuff. Who would have thought it? I mean, I wouldn't, that to be completely honest with you. So they're not changing that on that side. We'll move forwards a bit. Let's see what's going, and we'll play a game of bingo. Gotta find a spot for a little bit of bingo for sure. Right. Can we apparently all those players are on holiday. David Fusari. I don't want to say bad things about people, right? Especially not virtual people. But David Fusari is a dick. David Fusari went on loan to Hellas Verona, who finished bottom of the league. He kept 2 clean sheets. I mean, he did really well. I mean, he did concede more than expected, but also faced 1.87 XG per game. He was under pressure. He kept 2 clean sheets, and one of them was against us. But we'll welcome him back with open arms. Brennan Johnson has been named as the Player of the Year winner. 20 goals, 10 assists and 35 appearances. That seems reasonably fair. I suppose you can't really argue with that kind of output. Atabolo, our new goalkeeper, was named Goalkeeper of the Year. 23 goals conceded. Was that 19 clean sheets in 35 games? Isn't too bad. Over all games, he did concede 50. The 11 goals conceded against Liverpool and Inter Milan in various cup competitions certainly make for a worse season overall. We've got a Manager of the Year vote to make. We are in there, but it's surely going to go to Ange. So we're going to vote for... Thomasberg is a great name. Thomasberg is a really, really good name. He apparently retired from football a long time ago. I know nothing about him, but he's 58. I thought it said he was 38. He's played 38 games. Thomasberg gets my vote. Fabulous name. Atabulu, Hisuki, and Anita Hammer, Team of the Year. You're having a laugh. So Grizzly P says Brennan is always the last one of the original Tottenham squad to be sold in all your Tottenham saves. Fair enough. He's had a half-life if he's only 38. He has indeed. Lorenzo Colombo, former Milan striker. Sold before the game starts, I think. No, he's on loan when the game starts. But a former Milan striker is named Striker of the Year with his 15 goals in 14 goals in 18 starts, 7 sub appearances. That seems reasonable. Eduardo Camavinga named as the best midfielder. 10 goals, 11 assists from midfield. Again, seems pretty reasonable. If only RJ was here. If only RJ was here. Federico Di Marco, 35 years old, Serie A Defender of the Season. Noah Atabolo wins Goalkeeper of the Year and Best Goalkeeper of the Season. So we can congratulate him, and we most certainly will. Tony Harrison voice. This is an outrage, indeed. Indeed. Cool. Right. Okay. So I really want to see what's happening with training before I close off, and then we'll go and do a little bit of perfect. That's what we need. We need the end of season review, and then we can do a little bit of bingo. So we had a very, very busy season, a ridiculous season when it comes to transfers. Oh, wow, that's moving very, very slow all of a sudden. So we got a B plus rating for Ernest Nuama, 12 goals, 11 assists, our highest rated signing, 60 million euros. He did have two quite significant injuries that came at points that we then really, really struggled. So his injury proneness, maybe a little bit of a disappointment there. Albert Navarro, we signed for 12.75 million euros. 5 goals, 9 assists. I think we've got our long-term replacement for Hernandez. That's great. He is a player that when we arrived 2 seasons ago, we sold because we had like three left backs already. And then a season later, we bought him back. Arda Güler, 6 goals, 5 assists in 24 appearances. Not too bad. I think I'd probably expect a little bit more considering we bought him for 84 million euros. But yeah, I think he's been pretty solid. I think Atabolo's been brilliant. 48 million. He's conceded less than a goal per game. 19 clean sheets in the league. I'm delighted with Atabolo. Ricardo Rocha is marked out as our star signing. 4 goals, 7 assists as a defence midfielder. He was an inexpensive signing. Somebody that we were following for like 8 months or so. So someone I'm really pleased we got done. I think he's a good player, but he was a bit poor towards the end of the season. Carl Palmer for 38 million. Joint top scorer with 12 goals, 7 assists. 9 in goal contributions ain't too bad, right? I can live with that. Monterisi, 30 million, apparently is an A+ signing. Experienced 31-year-old centre-back. I think he's played pretty well. Yeah, not too unhappy with that. Matteo Mosconi has been shit. 8 assists is okay, but 3 goals is very, very disappointing for a player that has been playing up front quite a bit as well. He played only nine games up front, but yeah, disappointing goal return from him. 12 million isn't too much. I think we could have got better. Skamaka, 10 goals in 27 games, but I think that's still over 0.5 when we consider how many minutes he's played. Yeah, not too unhappy with that. We've got ourselves an old boy who's good in the air and big. What more can we ask for? Fruden, welcome in. Lovely to see you. What do I think of the match engine mods? They're not for me. I'm delighted that people are exploring that, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. I've tried them. They're just not for me, I'm afraid. Mattia Zanotti came in as a backup. Injuries, a big significant injury at the end of the season. He was kind of solid. I don't think he fits into what we're looking to do now, so he'll probably be sold at the end of the season. Then we've got our free transfers. Oh no, Alexander has got a 13th goal. He was our top goal scorer in the end. 13 goals in... so 0.54 goals per 90. Just slightly ahead of Skamaka. Can't knock that. Reinders, disappointing. Those 2 goals in that one game. Yeah, I'm not sold on them. We do have a 1-year contract extension possible. I don't think we're going to redeem it. Kerem Aktürkoğlu, he had a little run that was very good where he scored a load of goals. Otherwise, didn't really do anything. He's leaving on a free transfer. It was free. That's kind of fine. Jens Kajuste. I think Kajuste's been all right. I like him as a depth player on a free transfer. Solid. Solid. And then Iker Alvarez comes in as a backup goalkeeper. He's got a few years ahead of him to be that backup whilst we loan people out. We're not judging him on performances. Joshua Zirkzee scored 32 goals in Saudi Arabia. Rafael Leao scored 39 goals in Saudi Arabia. Youngster that we released hasn't really done anything great in Salernitana. Eduardo Bove scored far too many goals against us, but he wanted to leave. We did eventually get money, so I can live with that. Beraldo seems to have done all right, settled in at Barca, that's all right. Elena Kane, probably disappointing, only 12 goals. He was our star man. Yeah, that makes me sad. I feel like he should have done better. Nico, we only got 10 million for him. He didn't play much for Paris Saint-Germain. All makes me feel bitter. 50 million for Ruggieri, 7 assists, not too bad. Elia Caprile became the starter at Newcastle. 75 million overall in the end. Pardon me, he triggered our release clauses, our bonuses, so that's cool. Theo's done okay, like average at Tottenham. Bajic wasn't really part of our plans, so that's fine. Fatawu has barely played for Arsenal. Poor old Fatawu, 50 million euros, and he's being left to rot. Balieri, though, has played quite a bit for Birmingham and been shit. Yeah, all right. I feel like we got done okay out of there. So we get a B for finishing second. That seems reasonable. They obviously can't judge us on the Club World Cup. A C for getting knocked out in the quarterfinals. They wanted us to reach the latter stages. We exceeded the expectations there, so I feel like they could have probably given us a bit higher than a C. The Coppa Italia, a C plus for reaching the final. They wanted us to challenge for it. Okay, that seems fair. We won the Super Coppa Italia, B minus. I mean, you're not going to get excited over that, so that's reasonable. Our 7-0 win over Genoa was our biggest win. Match to remember was the 5-1 win against Fiorentina. Our goal of the season was Rocha's goal. One of Rocha's goals against Napoli. The one in the 13th minute. Let's see. Oh, was that right at the beginning of the season? That was a lovely goal. If that was the one right at the beginning of the season, that was a little bit like the goal we conceded against Juventus from distance. Ruggieri is possibly the most underpaid player based on their ability when starting FM24. A fair shout. So let's have a look at Rocha. 13th minute goal. Let's drop the speed. Get some vertical scrolling going on there. Let's move back a little bit. So it started with Nuama playing it across. We got in behind. Theo to Benato, gets it back. His cross is cleared by Silla. Then Anita Hammer plays it across. Rochas takes it first time. 30 yards, volley into the top corner. That was a very nice goal. That was a very, very nice goal. Credit where it is due. Yeah, can't argue with that. Finances. We made less in broadcast revenue, less in sponsorship, less in competition prize money. Really? Less in match day. But we made slightly more in corporate. Our team of the season. No shocks there, really. We won Serie A Manager of the Year. Oh no, that's last season's Serie A Manager of the Year. Nuama's the top player. Hasuki, Player of the Season. Signing Rocha. Most assists, most player of the match, highest average rating. Highest transfer fee received. Anita Hammer with best young player of the season as well, apparently. No idea what should have been there. Yeah. Not too bad, not too bad. Right, I think it's time to play a little bit of bingo. So let's go on over and do just that. So if you guys haven't been here before for bingo, I will explain how this works. It's relatively straightforward. You pop on over to that lovely link that is about to appear in chat now. Once you sign in, you will get yourselves a unique bingo card with 16 squares on it. Those squares will be a player or a club or a league or a record. Every single one of us then gets a list of 60 players, all exactly the same, one after another. We get 10 seconds to decide whether that player matches one of the criteria on our bingo card. If they do, you click on it. If they don't, you skip. Once you click on a criteria, once you click on a square, it's locked in. You can't undo it. You can't add another player there. So you've got to make sure that you get it correct, and hope that you can get them all right. Like the goal is to get 16 correct and get bingo. And every now and then we do. I don't. I think I've got bingo once out of the many times we've played. But we've got some very, very good players in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give it about 2 minutes or so, so that we can give people a chance to sign in, and then we pop on into the game. It should be nice and fun. Upton Basis described that goal as a thunder bastard in it. Isn't thunder bastard such a satisfying thing to say as well? Thunder bastard. What a wonderful description. So yeah, this we'll be wrapping up with bingo, and then we'll do the standard raiding out stuff going. So does anyone have any plans for the weekend as well whilst we wait? Upton Basis, Adingra to Sunderland. That's a good signing. It's a great signing, isn't it? I mean, Sunderland have moved very quickly and very early in this transfer window. In fact, that's also a reasonable question. How are people feeling about their transfer window so far? Because it feels like it's really been hotting up the last couple of days with the Tottenham with Kudus, and it looks like Morgan Gibbs right now. Adingra to Sunderland, Tierno Barry to Everton. We've got possibly Arsenal finally got Zubamendi, and looks like they might be getting close on Jokeres. We're starting to get some movement. Maybe there's news that Nottingham Forest are going to move quite quickly to replace the outgoing Gibbs White as well. It's finally getting interesting. So Aaron asks, can you pick me a team to manage in FM? I need a new save recently. Won the quadruple with Liverpool within 2 years and need a new team. Well, how about we recommend Ilves in Finland, because they have the greatest badge in all of football, and it will be a nice different challenge to what you're used to. So John Siege, weekend plans, you're going to be working, driving lessons, and maybe poisoning your liver at the biggest music festival in my city. That sounds the last part of that sounds fabulous. Ryan is going to take Newcastle 3,000. It takes Newcastle 3,000 days to sign Elanga, but it looks like that's going to move over, make its way over the line, which is quite cool. Right, okay, shall we play the game? I'm going to click start, so check on that over on your browser. There is obviously a slight delay between me talking and it being broadcast. So when I say start, the countdown's already happened. So we will see what we've got here. We've got Jordan Henderson to start, and we've got some fabulous lists. And Jordan Henderson obviously has won the Ballon d'Or, so that's got to be the choice we go for. We will go with the Saudi League there to start things off. We've got Ji-sung Park, a fine player. I'm wondering whether he would have fit there, but I am going to leave it. I'm not confident on that. Ryan Babels played a few places. I'm not confident on him there, so I'm going to let him go by as well. I am a bit more confident on Bastoni at Inter, so we can play that one. Sander Berger, I don't think he matches any of that criteria. Has he played for Celtic? Feels like the kind of player who might have played for Celtic at some point, right? So Kern Casteels, I don't know on Casteels, so we'll let that one run as well. Philip Koku, surely he was at PSV at the same time as the real Ronaldo. We're going for it. Nonetheless, we are absolutely going for it. Tyler Adams has won the Ballon d'Or, so that's the obvious choice there. Julio Baptista. We'll just play it nice and safe there. Even Cordoba. we will just play that one quite safe as well. Rodrigo de Paul, that's a lovely fit for us having Argentina and Atletico Madrid. We've got Marcos Acuna. Has he won the Champions League? Is he Portuguese? Has he scored in the Champions League final? Not feeling any of those. Same goes for Siem de Jong. Now Van Gaal, like I'm going to have no hope with Van Gaal, I don't think. Desiree Doué, I love him. Scored in the Champions League final. Probably should have played him for Champions League winner as well. We will let Patrick Bamford go for England. Rafael Guerreiro. He's got so many. He's born in France, Portuguese nationality, or is he born in Portugal, French nationality? I can never, ever remember. Gonçalo Guedes. Know nothing about Guedes. Demarai Gray. I know very little about them, or nothing that makes me feel like I'm going to go for any of these selections. Miggy Almiron. Going to skip there as well. Dimitro Albertini. What a player. Has Albertini ever won the Champions League? I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to risk it. We've got Celtic. So Batista says that Guerreiro was born in France. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Dennis Irwin surely was part of that Man United squad, right? I am very much doubting myself now. We can skip Handanovic. Thomas Gravesen should have won the Ballon d'Or, obviously. But we're going to skip him as well. Gyökeres will skip. Jose Maria Jimenez we will skip. Nicholas Jackson we can play though. Campos we are going to skip. Carvajal. Going with we've reached the skipping part. Now, has Marek Hamsik had a season where he scored a crazy amount of goals? Did he score enough goals to win the Serie A Golden Boot? I'm certainly not going to feel confident on that. But we're going to skip. Wrong Jian to go there. Jordan Ayew though. What's the other Ayew? It was Andrew Ayew. So yes, we had Jordan Ayew. I can play that one. Curtis Jones, Jordan Pickford, Samu Omaridian or Agahoa. We're skipping that. We've got Coke. Another drug reference. Quite controversial. Julian Alvarez is a fine player. Gonzalo Montiel. Malo Gusto. Giovanni Elba. Timothy Weah. We're not liking these options that are coming up. Scott Sinclair. Yannick Carrasco. Jackson Martinez. Jared Bowen. Olivier Giroud. We're going for Golden Boot there. In Serie A. I don't feel good about that one. We're going to say that Riquelme was managed by Van Gaal at some point because we're running out of options. Osimhen. Rodri has won the Ballon d'Or, so that's what we're going with. And it's just Giroud that let us down. But more importantly, we have a bingo. And that bingo belongs to John. So wonderful stuff there. Fabulous work. And so Kurt apparently is the king of bingo. Good to know. Hung them in 30 again, even with all the practice. There is something to be said. There is something to be said for consistency, my dude. That was the worst for Blue Lions, unfortunately. DM Basis was really confident, and you shouldn't have been. I mean, 11 still good, but we have Crodmo with 15, we have Grizzly P with 14, we have Char and Console coming in with 13 as well, but Johnson with 16 out of 16 is sensational. Medical Car got only 30, but did get the treble winner square. That's a pretty cool one to get. Political signing, LVG on Louis Van Gaal on Romy. There we go. I need to work on my Unai knowledge. Did you get Unai? I would have been fine with Unai. Unai would have been good for me. So talking about plans, Zeratul, it's sunny, so it's probably going to barbecue and slack. That sounds amazing. And also we'll watch Rosenberg screw up everything on Sunday as well. That's a shame. We've got a Lestri in. Welcome in, Lestri. How you doing, my dude? Good morning to you. Good morning. I have some relatively bad news for you, I'm afraid to say, which is we are about to end. But it is lovely to see you, and let's pop on over and give you. Oh, actually, let's not pop on over. Lestri, do you want me to spoil what has happened, or shall we keep it all secret because you're going to catch it up on the VOD? As a console, John Carew was your last. Had only Benfica and Carrasco for Unai and Carrero at Lille. Fair enough. Mr. Grizzly P mistook the Slovakian flag for the Slovenian flag. A reasonable mistake to make for sure. John, sir, so you played in at least 3 of the 5 top leagues. Played in at least 3 of the top 5 leagues was a new one. That is a new one. That's interesting. So Lester, just happy you popped in. You'll VOD it later. Perfect. We won't spoil what happened. So fabulous work, guys. We're going to do as we do always. So YouTube, I'm going to close things off here first, and we're going to then raid out over on Twitch. I don't know what the schedule is looking like for next week. It is going to be very dependent on what's happening with the league. But I will be updating hopefully by Sunday. So if you want to, pop on over to Discord and you will be able to get the updates there. I'll hopefully be able to see you guys next.